Oh, sorry about that, y'all. I was just starting my React, and Queen Booger hopped up on here. She wanted to cradle up in my arms and be held, and I couldn't set up StreamYard the way I normally do. How are y'all doing? Hope you're having a good day. So, I am here to do a React to Foodie Beauty, although it's going to be difficult because I need both my hands to do the React, and you guys can see what I'm holding in my arms right now. So how in the world am I going to touch my keyboard and my mouse? Cat mama problems. So since Booger is up here acting like a baby and I'm treating her like a baby, how about we start out with a little bit of commentary so that Booger gets a little bit of extra cuddles in the meantime? What can I tell you about the live stream that I'm going to be reacting to? I didn't sit in on every single minute, although I did watch a large portion of it. Foodie is back in Kuwait. She went on a visa run. I don't know if she got good news or bad news during the visa run. There might be a slight chance that she went on her visa run. She could have gotten approved. She could have been not been approved. And since her current visa is still active, she could have decided that if she did not get approved, to come back to Kuwait so she wouldn't get stuck in Dubai, or like, she wouldn't get stuck at the checkpoints. She could just make it back to the apartment in Kuwait and stay a little bit longer before she has to go back home to Canada. Or she could have gotten approved for her visa extension in Dubai. I mean, time will tell. Time will let us know what has happened. If she stays in Kuwait beyond April the 1st, because I believe that's when she has to get out, is April the 1st. If she stays beyond that, she definitely has gotten another 3 months. If not, if we see her back in Canada, we'll know what happens. So there's that. Also, as far as the live, Booger, you're acting like a baby. What are you doing? What was going on in the live? Well, I think it goes without saying that anybody who saw that footage, Foodie looked like absolute crap. She did. She looked like absolute crap. She looked very unwell, very unhealthy. It looked like she was under the influence of something. I was watching the live and her pupils were just blasted. She was doing a lot of moving around, which she normally doesn't do. She was doing a lot of cleaning. Her movements, normally if Foodie is not under the influence, she can't move that well, but she had a bit more ease in her movement. And she did say something very telling in the live. She said she doesn't have access to a lot of health care in Kuwait, but she does have access to medications. So it sounds like she might have been taking maybe painkillers or medications to mask the problems and get through the pain versus going home or going somewhere to actually treat the problems in question. So it further backs up the feeling that she was perhaps under the influence. The heavier that Foodie gets, the more painful I'm sure it is for her. And her weight is jumping all the way up very, very rapidly. Even with the filters, we can see it. So during the live, she was cleaning. She was also doing something unusual. She was showing off different areas of the apartment, which is something she doesn't normally do. But she was moving the camera all the way around, and there were things that didn't look right, such as the fact that she was wearing an abaya that was dirty and stained, and she was wearing it inside out and backwards. Although she does have a washer and dryer right there in the apartment. If she's got dirty clothes, she could wash them. I mean, it's right across the room. Why not use it? The table that was in the living room that should have functioned as a dining room table is now her personal table. And it has all of her personal toiletries on that table. Like, I don't know why she didn't put them back in the bathroom if she had to go on a trip. There are 2 bathrooms in the place. And anybody remember the storage room, the spare room that they had, the room that they said they'd be used for content? As I remember it, that little spare room was her room, right? There was a dresser in there, there was a mirror, uh, her toiletry items. So why have all of those items been moved to the living room area right next to where she does her live streams? On top of that, aside from the toiletry items, there was that big mirror that was also in the spare room. Why was that moved? Why would she put that big old mirror and her toiletry items right next to the computer? It was just stuff like that. I'm like, what are you doing? It just, so it was just a collection of weirdness. It was an absolute collection of weirdness. I'm going to warn you guys. This live that she did, it was not exciting at all. It was just Foodie looking weird, acting weird, being boring. Uh, and even though she put out that community post saying anybody talking about my weight, anybody talking about diabetes, blah blah blah, you're going to get blocked. The live that she did a weigh-in. So go figure. She's telling people in a community post, don't talk about these things, don't bring them up. If you do, you're going to get in trouble. And then she brings them up. Weirdo. Why you never mind. I don't want to know. So there are some Twitter tweets to go over. And how about we get into that? And then we'll just get into the live stream. I don't know how long we're going to stay. Like I said, it's boring, but the beauty of not reacting to her live and waiting until she's done is if there's boring parts, we can just skip ahead. So you guys know what? It's time for the Twitter peeps. All right, it's time for the Twitter peeps. Let's see if I am where I need to be. And I'm so glad I checked because I was not where I need to be. I wasn't paying attention, but I caught my error before it happened. All right. So for those of you that are on Twitter that you'd like to follow me on Twitter, if you're on the Bird app, there's my handle, Wild Girl Sarah. Let's start here with a tweet courtesy of Girl Scout saying, Foodie Beauty, if Julia's breath smells and she's spitting out cat pellets, then she obviously has dental gum issues that you are ignoring. Absolutely true. A cat's breath normally doesn't smell. I mean, it's going to smell if they say just a tuna or some kind of fish, but if they're not eating like say raw meat, if a cat's breath smells and it's rank, that's a time to take the cat to the doctor. There's some kind of issue. It could be an oral issue. It could be a dental issue. It could be a tooth issue. It might be some other health related issue. Ditto on the fact that a cat's fur should not smell. Cats are very clean creatures. They clean themselves constantly. They're always grooming. If a cat's fur smells bad, if it's not mange, it means they're in a dirty environment and their fur is just simply picking up the stink from wherever they're at. So a cat's breath doesn't normally smell and their fur doesn't normally smell. And she's always putting down Julia and saying like, you stink, you stink, you stink. Well, maybe it's because of you, Foodie, maybe because you stink. I mean, you'll go days at a time without bathing, without changing your clothes. You'll even go so far as to wear the same abaya for days and turn it inside out and upside down just to keep wearing it. You don't think that stench is going to, affect the cat at all? Maybe the stench you're picking up isn't her stench, it's yours. So moving on to Enigma 2025. Saying she says that her next visa run, according to the travel, June. So she's going something. She's not going to be live on purpose. I thought you didn't want to talk about visa runs or traveling. So let's watch the clip.
Oh, it's not. Apparently, I'm next due to travel in June, at the end of June, so.
Like I said, there's always a chance, y'all, that she could have done the visa run. She may not have gotten a new visa approved. She might have gone and they might have said, nope, no, ma'am. But because she does have some time left on the current visa, she decided that before it ran out, to keep from getting stuck across the border, because there are a couple of checkpoints, that she would come back to Kuwait, where the apartment was, stay as long as she could before she had to fly out. So there might be a chance that April 1st, she might pop up in Canada. I mean, it's one of those wait and see games.
I'm gonna make sure to go absent on purpose just to confuse people. I don't care.
Foodie, you're so stupid. You ever hear the old saying, uh, biting off one's nose to spite one's face? Or, no, I'm sorry, cutting off one's nose to spite one's face. So you're going to give up money out of your own pocket, money that you need just to confuse people. Does that even make sense? Does the game of confusion and lies matter that much to you that you will deprive yourself of money, money that you desperately need? Because you must need money if you're begging from people to send you money and you're stressed out whenever they don't send you super chats or stuff on PayPal. Does it make sense that you're going to go an entire day of not making money for the sake of being childish and saying, ha ha, they're confused. They don't know what's going on. Childish, childish.
Dirty laundry from jet setting?
Can I? Okay, you know what? Let's just blow this up. I got something to say. I got something to say. This living room, I'm getting anxious just looking at it. It is so cluttered. There's just too much going on in this living room. Like there's a lot of big things in a very small space. There's no room to walk around in. There's nothing that it looks cramped, doesn't it? It looks really, really cramped. And I feel bad for Julia. Where does she have room to do her zoomies? Absolutely nowhere. If I were living there, I'd take out the treadmills. I would take out one of the couches and open up more room in that little bit of space. Because you got the couches, you got the treadmill, you've got the tables for no random reason. It's just too much. For a tiny space, it's too much. Way too much.
Apparently, I'm next due to travel in June.
And why does that keyboard have to stay in the living room like that at all times if he's not playing it at all times? I would think the neater option would be to unplug it and put it away when he's not using it, when he's not there. Why does it have to stay like that? I mean, just put it away.
June, at the end of June, so. I'm gonna make sure to go absent on purpose just to confuse people. I don't care. Dirty laundry from jet setting? Oh, it's not. I think there's like sheets in there.
And y'all see look over here. We got this suitcase or the bag full of dirty clothes that really should not be sitting in the living room. Those dirty clothes, if they're dirty, should be in the washer getting washed. I mean, I don't know exactly when she got home from her visa run, but she could have woke up the next morning afterwards, got herself a cup of coffee, got herself a nice breakfast, taken a shower, started on the laundry, cleaned up the house a little bit, taking her time just getting readjusted to being back home. But what in the world is this over here? Why is the bathroom scale out of the bathroom? Why is it in the living room? I mean, the random clutter for no reason.
And everything. See, that's sheets. Some Salah's clothes.
And Foodie, can I just say, if you're using a bathroom scale, putting the bathroom scale on carpet is a surefire way that you're not going to get an accurate reading.
My jilbab. I gotta wash it. No, Buddha. Whatever. I'm just not even gonna care anymore. Like, it's kind of funny. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. There's something in me right now that I just want to rearrange that whole living room. I want to get rid of the treadmill, take that one back couch and put it where the treadmill is. Then you could put the coffee tables in front of that. It would open up so much more like walking room. I just hate the arrangement of it all. It's so hectic.
level of obsession with a chart. Like, I don't know. You brought your own sheets in case of an accident. See, that, like, that's the thing. Like, it doesn't matter if I prove any, like, if I took out my marriage certificate tomorrow, it wouldn't prove anything to people because they would just find some excuse, like Larry just did, like some explanation.
You know what, Foodie? Let's just say that the marriage certificate is real. The you and Salah are really, really, really married. Like it's not a fake marriage, although it is. You know it is. It's just a paid arrangement. Booger. Booger. It's a paid arrangement. It's a business transaction. We all know and we all understand how desperate and how thirsty for companionship you are. I mean, this goes without question. You're just that desperate that you've been on this feverish quest to find a male companion that will stay with you until the rest of your days. And you devise any way you could think of to make it happen. You'll pay for male companionship. You did it with Natter. And you were hoping after paying his bills and paying his rent and paying the groceries and party favors and all this, you were hoping that you would get the bonus of he would just look at you and go, I am so grateful for this woman. She is so caring. She pays for everything. I'm going to fall madly in love with her. Like you thought that that would actually happen. It didn't. You should have learned your lesson with Natter. You didn't. So now you're in summer school with Salah, thinking that, hey, if it doesn't work with one, try again. Well, you tried it again and same result. Same result. You wanted to go to the Middle East because you wanted to live out the fantasy of what it would be like to be married. You knew in your current state, with the fact that you don't care about yourself, you're not caring about improving yourself to be appealing in any way, that no man worth anything was going to marry you. You knew that. So you found someone that would tolerate you and you can carry out this fantasy on camera. You're essentially playing house. You paid someone to play a part on YouTube. And they did what they were paid for. And they did nothing more than that. They played out their part. Not very well, but they still did. But even if you guys were really married, I would say, with everything that I've seen, it is not a happy marriage. It is not beneficial to you. It is not beneficial to him. Neither one of you are good for each other, and it's time to let go. It's just time to let go. But you are determined to hang on to this man, to stay there as long as you can, to keep yourself in misery and him too. You're looking at it from a possessive, I own you, I pay for you perspective. And you got to understand, you can't own people. And it makes no sense to try to own people if trying to own them and control them is at the expense of their happiness and yours too. You know, sometimes the greatest thing you can do is let go. If you let go, then you can find peace, knowing that you did the right thing. But you never do the right thing. You always do the wrong thing. Fondue Pondu says, Foodie Duty, totally not reading Twitter obsessively. I also noticed you took your blood sugar tester out of your travel bag as well when cleaning the vanity. I guess your travel bag is the best place to leave it. I hate a person who lies badly. Yeah, that's really what bothers girl world, the lies. People don't like liars. They don't like being lied to. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying, yeah, I'm in Kuwait. I paid for companionship. Um, I'm on a visa run. I've got to renew every 3 months. I mean, you're not committing a crime, are you? So why are you acting like you have to hide it? You're trying to gaslight us and act like we're stupid, but then you prove us right. And then you get defensive about it. The lies, Foodie, the lies are what bother people. Tat Von B says, you will never have a nice home or expensive holidays. Your food addiction and your visa runs are costing you everything. Not only that, your medicine is a big cost too, and it's only going to get more costly, and you're supporting a bum. You have ruined your life. Well, there's something else that's expensive in Foodie's world. Y'all want to guess what it is? What else is expensive for Foodie? Her pride. Foodie's got a lot of pride. And although it would do her good to chew up her pride and swallow it, to eat a little bit of humble pie, she just won't. She'll eat 10,000 calories in a day, but she will not chew up and swallow her pride. She can't get it in her mouth. It gets stuck in her throat. She can't just do what she needs to do to swallow it. She'll swallow everything but that. Everything. But Tat Von B, you ain't lying. Her food addiction, her medicine, everything's expensive over there. Everything. But she thinks as long as I have a home and as long as I can afford takeout, I'm fine. Thing is, Foodie, you can't afford takeout. You rely on your feedies to feed you. That's a bad sign when you have to rely on other people to feed you. But let's watch the clip regardless.
So I guess I should explain, because instead of just like, basically, because we're gonna get this a lot. We're gonna get this like every occasion, okay? Birthdays, Christmas, which I don't really celebrate, but
I don't celebrate Christmas, she says. But how many times have we seen her since her being in Kuwait and being a Muslim revert? She makes sure to go home on Christmas because she wants those free Christmas gifts from the family, and she wants to go back to Canada and indulge in all of her vices for a while and get that hedonism out of her system before she comes back to Kuwait.
anniversaries, whatever, okay? So right now we are sacrificing every single fills, cent, whatever we're doing, okay? Because we have expensive things in the future we need to save every penny for. So we are sacrificing a lot to make these goals happen. So
Why don't you be more specific? Why can't you say what these sacrifices are? What exactly are you sacrificing? Fast food? You have your feedies pay for the fast food. What exactly is he sacrificing? He doesn't even work. What exactly is he sacrificing? I mean, if you're going to make a claim that you're sacrificing and he's sacrificing, come forward and come through with examples.
I guess I'm just going to come right out and say special occasions, birthday gifts, shopping, and for unnecessary things that I want are on the side for now.
Oh, poor Foodie. You're making sacrifices, are you? Oh, we have to make important sacrifices. We can't have lavish birthdays and celebrate lavish anniversaries and go out and do things. Guess what, Foodie? All across the world, there are lots of people that work 100 times harder than you ever will, that they make true sacrifices. They make sacrifices for themselves. They make sacrifices for their families, for their children. There are parents in the world right now, this minute, that money is tight and they go without food just to make sure that their children can eat. They don't eat 3 meals a day. They might eat once a day, if that, just to make sure their little ones get food in their bellies. There are people out there really sacrificing. And it's not because they're lazy. They're not going through hardships because they're lazy. They're just on hard times. But they're doing the best they can. Versus someone like you, that you got it easy, ma'am. You got it real easy. That's the problem. You've had it too easy for too long and you've gotten doggone spoiled and entitled with it. You are not grateful for what you have. You're not grateful for what you receive. You've been on YouTube for what, 8 years? 8 years. All the money that you've made, you ain't got nothing to show for it, not even good health. You can't even come on YouTube and say, I've been on YouTube for 8 years and I'm in the peak of health. My health is stellar. Like I could go to a physical right now and get an exam and pass with flying colors. My organs are just, they're feeling like Superman right now. My diabetes, almost non-existent. I could go run a marathon if I choose. My dental health, on point. I got money in the bank. I got some savings. I got some investments. I could almost retire right now if I wanted to. You can't make none of those claims. All the money that you made on YouTube, you wasted it. Indulging in party favors, indulging in food, paying men to be your companions. It's all gone. You got nothing left. You don't even have good health. You sold your good health versus acquiring more and holding on to it and looking at it as a precious commodity. So don't you come on over here and talk about sacrifices. You were sacrificing precious things long ago for the sake of YouTube fame. Well, did you get what you paid for? Are you happy? Did you get what you wanted? Did you? Well, you get what you get, huh?
I'm trying to forego, if you like, honestly.
And I'm sorry, like I watch her lives. I've seen her mukbangs. Listen, if she's over there getting fast food, if she's over there getting her little iced coffee from the coffee shops, those are luxury items. If you're struggling, and if you're sacrificing, you don't do that crap. She's over there trying to act relatable, like, oh, me and Salah are sacrificing. Oh, really? So what is up with the fast food then? Why aren't y'all just straight up buying groceries and leaving it at that? You can eat just fine off them groceries. Where's the fast food coming from? Don't talk to me about sacrificing when you're still eating 10,000 calories of Burger King a day. Quit it.
Honestly, in the future, inshallah, like I would like to have, we want to travel, like, so I guess.
If she goes anywhere, he ain't going with her. He will not travel with her. He had the option before to go with her to Thailand. He decided, nope, I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to be potentially stuck there for a month with her. His vacation was staying in Kuwait, and he let her go to Thailand all by herself. And I'm sure he was watching how she would behave in Thailand. He was watching to see, okay, if I'm not around, what's her content like? What is she like? And she was a mess. She was eating all kinds of food. She was making herself sick. She had diarrhea left and right. She did not know how to function. Like, he was not impressed with what he saw. Tat Von B says, I don't know about you guys, but I couldn't live in a place with no personal touch, art, or some kind of creativity in my home. It doesn't look like a home to me. What do you guys think? Well, I've already said it. That home looks hectic. It makes me anxious. I want to take out the treadmill and move the couch and the table over there in the corner just to open up more walking room. Because all I could think about is there's so little walking room that you could easily trip on something. You know, like you got to make the most of a small space. And putting big pieces of furniture in a small space is one guaranteed way to make it look cluttered and be cluttered. All right, now this is something interesting from Fat Cow, and thank you for posting this, Fat Cow Chronicles. 3 years worth of evidence of income, you say. Okay, so for those who are wondering, what does it take to be a sponsor? Let's look. Income requirements for the sponsor. To be a sponsor, you must have enough money to support all of the people you'll be financially responsible for, including yourself. We call this your family size. To show that you have enough money, you'll have to prove you meet the income requirements for each of the 3 tax years before the date you apply. If you don't meet the income requirements by yourself, your spouse or your common law partner can co-sign your application to combine your income. So if he's not working, if he's not, say, coming to Canada and he doesn't have a job in Canada, he can't really use his income, can he? If he's relying on Foodie, it's just her income. And if she's got bankruptcies on her record, I would think that's going to work totally against that. So no, Salah, she can't help you with the sponsorship. And she knew that before she moved over to Kuwait. And she just hid that from you, bro. Okay, so Perfectly Imperfect says, so this dress has been circulating on Twitter the past few days. And guess what? Foodie Beauty brings it up in her live. Go figure. Florida Salt and Sass says she's mad people talked about the dress she wore to her grandmother's memorial. Quote, so I wore a short dress, so what? It covered all my bits. Chantal, you don't have bits. You have bulge. And your butt was literally hanging out of it. We saw it. So here's the picture in question. Chantal's grandmother passed away, and this is what she decided to wear to the memorial. A zebra spandex looking dress that clung to everything, that was way too short. You can see down here, like, this is her underwear is showing. This is what she chose to wear to her grandmother's memorial. Yeah, talk about tacky and rude. Dressing and appearing like that in front of family members. Ugh. Florida Salt and Sass says Julia is being fed on top of their only table. Lazy Slav villa habits die hard, I guess. That apartment is tiny. Even she shouldn't have a problem keeping that small of a space tidy. So there's Julia's feeding area on top of a table. Florida Salt and Sass says, what in the garbage bin is going on there? The self-professed domestic goddess is back to her villa ways. Why are her personal care items, deodorant, body spray, etc., in the living room when they have 2 bathrooms and bedrooms? She's cleaning from a chair. Here's some pictures. Y'all want to see some pictures? Yeah, look at all this mess. What in the Okay. So there's a table over here. Here's her computer desk over here. Like right over here that looks like part of the computer chair. But all of her toiletries are in the living room where they don't need to be. And she's cleaning sitting in the chair. Chair's all kinds of tore up. You got clothes on top of the couch. And again, she's been home for a minute. Before she goes live, she can clean stuff up and clean herself up and come correct. But she's not. Now, okay, let's do a palate cleanser, something funny. You booger. So anybody who has a dog or a cat, they're very vocal, aren't they? Some of them are very vocal. And cats, they have a variety of sounds depending on how they feel. I know how to speak the cat language because I'm a cat mama. And like booger, meow, hey, meow, brrr. Like she just trilled at me. That's a friendly greeting. But for anybody out there, you got a cat and you want to let them know that you're cool with them. You know, you got to make the meow sound like a question mark. Meow, like what? Meow, brrr. And they like the trilling too. Brrr, brrr. But here's a post from Massimo saying cats have a wide spectrum of vocalizations from the standard meow to purrs to chirps and trills. Sometimes they produce these lower pitched vocalizations that vaguely sound like human speech. So you guys want an example of them kind of answering you and acting like they're talking to you? Watch this. Why are you filming me? Why isn't the food on the table? Like, why this? Why, baby? Why?
Can you hold on?
That one cracks me up. He's singing you the song of his people.
Hey.
So see, they can somewhat understand what you're saying. They kind of know. They may not understand whatever language you might be speaking, but animals pick up on energy and their tone of voice. Like if you're angry, if you're upset, if you're sad, they can feel it. You know, like they pick up on your tone of voice, like they're like, okay, like that sounds like a friendly voice. That sounds like a friendly tone. I guess it's okay to go up to them. Also, one thing I know about cats, if you're looking to see how they're feeling, pay attention to their ears, pay attention to their tail. If a cat's ears are just normal and facing forward, they're pretty much calm. If they're in hunter mode, like they're getting frisky, they got the zoomies, or they're a little bit aggravated, you know, their ears might go to the side, like almost in a V. And if they're all the way back, that means they're mad. And the tail, if they're feeling in a good mood, their tail will be up. If they're feeling unsure, if they're feeling upset, their tail would be much more down to the ground or between their legs. So watch the tail and then watch the ears. Excellent Boiled Potatoes says Foodie Beauty is live restocking her fridge water and picking up garbage. The swelling says it's from sleep. No, it's from your heart failing to pump fluids out of your body and you're in heart failure. Look, I don't know where Foodie's health is right now. A lot of people, the reactors, tarot readers, we all keep telling her she needs to go to the doctor. She needs to get checked out. She might have some heart issues. If she's got serious issues, she has to go home to Canada because Kuwait has a rule that if you need serious health care and you're a tourist, you have to go back to your home country to get it. They're not going to give it to you where you are. You can go to clinics and such to treat little things, but the big fit things they're not going to handle. So she's got really severe health problems, and yet she refuses to go. I think she knows if she goes to the doctor how bad it is. She doesn't know everything that's going on, but she's got an idea. Valentina says, I think so. It sounded to me like they said, is it askut? It means shut up, be quiet. Their neighbors must hate them. Milker says, was someone screaming at Chantal and Salah to shut up? So they were doing the live. It was late. He was playing Happy Birthday on the keyboard. They were being really loud. And I guess one of the neighbors wasn't having it and screamed at them to shut up. Let's watch the clip.
Yes.
Yeah, somebody was screaming something like shut up.
Someone just yelled at us.
Yeah, and if I were you, I'd be feeling embarrassed. You're in your apartment. It's late at night. It's not even the middle of the day. You're playing the keyboard. You guys are being really loud when you're in an apartment. The walls are thin. Most apartments, the walls are really thin. You can hear people when they're flushing a toilet, when they're talking, when they're yelling, when they're screaming. You can even smell the foods that people are cooking next door. Sometimes that'll come through the vents. You can hear people taking showers. So why wouldn't they hear the sound of a Casio keyboard turned all the way up? Why wouldn't they? And why wouldn't they be mad that you're making noise? I would be going and apologizing to the neighbors if I was you. All right. Loretta H says, so Foodie Beauty goes on a rant about anyone bringing up her weight or diet in chat will be blocked immediately, then proceeds to do a public weigh-in, which invites people to talk about it in chat. Yes, she truly is stuck on stupid. She looks like crap from the visa run, by the way. So she did kind of a fake phony weigh-in. Let's watch. Yet nobody talk about my weight, but I'm going to do a weigh-in on my next live. Go figure.
Oops.
And Foodie, the scale that you have, it doesn't even go up to 400 pounds. You need, at this point, a bariatric scale, which is much bigger. They're the ones that have the handrails on the side, something that can go up to the 600-pound range. And those are not cheap. A regular bathroom scale at your weight is not going to work because they can't capture all of your weight. They just can't. You're well over 500 pounds and you know it.
Zero, what's that? I wish I weighed 0. 165.
Why are you, Chantal, do you think we're stupid? Seriously, do you think we're stupid? Do you think that we didn't go to school and we can't do math? You're in the house all day. You don't go anywhere. You don't do anything. You're not active at all. You make it your business to not be active, and yet you load up on calories and carbs. You're over 500 pounds. To maintain just 500 pounds, you would need to eat between 5,000 to 7,000, 8,000 calories a day just to maintain that weight. If you ate over that amount, you start to gain weight. And let's do some math. 3,500 calories equals 1 pound of fat. And if you're over there consuming 5,000, 6,000 plus calories a day, that means you're putting on 1 to 2 pounds every day because you're not burning those calories off. You're not. That's why you're getting visibly bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, because you're literally gaining weight every day. Every day. If you were to decrease your calories just by doing that, by doing a calorie deficit, you would start to lose weight like crazy. Just doing that, you could drop some weight that way. Take it from like, say, 7,000, 8,000 calories down to, say, 2 or 3,000. You would drop weight like nobody's business. But you got those feedies in your ear encouraging you to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. All right, moving on. Satirical Scapegoat says, changed up the contrast and brightness for a clearer image. The Incredible Hulk is speechless. So, like, here's a screenshot from, she went to her kitchen and got in her fridge. I'm sorry, that's not 350 pounds. That's like 500 plus. That's 500 plus. Nobody can convince me otherwise. Look, does that look like 350 to you? Nah, more like 550. Raised Dactylion says, and Chantal wants us to believe she had guests over with all of her personal grooming items sitting in the living room. So, this is what I'm talking about. I remember when she gave us kind of like a tour of that spare room. I remember this mirror being in that room. And all of these toiletry items were sitting on the dresser. So why are they now in the living room? Even if she went on a visa run, and she's just kind of unpacking her stuff, why not put this stuff in the other room? And why is that big mirror out of that room? Like, why was it moved like that? Unless she's doing adult, sexy, fun time stuff in the living room area, and that's kind of like her cam area. I don't know. Enigma 2025 says she rages about talking about her marriage, weight, and what she eats, but then does this and expects no one to question or remark on it. It's controlling psychologically the people on her chat. She can't control others outside, but can on her channel. She control the narrative on her channel, correct. And she hates that, the fact that she can't control all the narrative. There's narrative outside her control. Oh, look at this. If I were the cat owner of this mama cat, I would feel very honored because obviously mama trusts this owner. She's bringing her babies to the owner and saying, look what I made. Like, these are my babies and I trust you with my babies. Look. How adorable. Mama's like, I feel safe. I feel so safe with you that I'm going to bring my babies to you. What an honor as a cat owner. And here's a tweet from me. This is the one that I made when I was watching the live last night, saying, Foodie Beauty, why in the F are you wearing your abaya inside out and it's stained as well? For freak's sake, you got a washer dryer, wash your clothes. Yeah, take a look at this. Her abaya, her blouse, whatever it is she's wearing, she turned it inside out. Look, here are the seams right here. She wore it, she stained it, she turned it inside out and backwards so that she could wear it again. And this right here, even when I show you the live, you'll be able to see the buttons are on the inside versus the outside. So like, that's how filthy she is. Even though she has a washer to dryer, and what she could have done was just take a couple of hours, wash all of her clothes, get a nice clean outfit after taking a shower and put it on. She's coming on camera in filthy, nasty, dirty clothes with stains on them like the. I can't with her. That's just gross. That's sick. And if I had to see it, you have to see it. And before anybody says anything to me, she's got panties on. Okay. She's got peach panties on. But this moment right here happened during Crackhead Olympics. She put her tummy on top of the counter. Repo Widow says, happy birthday to our favorite Canadian nightmare. Okay, what else we got here? And this will make you guys happy. So Chantal went live on her birthday because she was probably hoping that she was going to get a crap ton of super chats because it was her birthday. Do you know what she made? $62. That's it, $62. She probably thought she would get hundreds of dollars. All she got was $62. And keep in mind that that is the gross amount. That is not the net amount after YouTube takes their 30%. So she made a lot less than 62. A lot less. Mean Kitten says, so Salah gave Foodie $9,000 on her birthday. Sounds like marching papers to me. She gave him $9,000 to take her butt, and him giving her $9,000 sounds like a contract fulfilled and see you later. Yeah, she made mention of that. That for her birthday, he gave her $9,000. That amount is very specific. I'm wondering if she would, like, maybe they gave her the money back and said, here, you gave us 9,000, here's the 9,000 back, please go home to Canada. With $9,000 in your pocket, you should be able to get a place of your own. You can leave and not come back. You can leave and not come back, so please do. Oh boy. All right, so we're going to stop here as far as the Twitter peeps, and we'll go on to the live. And I don't know how long I'm going to stay. I'm just going to give my commentary, not so much on the things she's saying, but the things I'm noticing, because she's not really saying anything of interest, to be honest. She's just babbling, as Chantal does. Look, you guys can see she's on something. I don't know what she's on. My guess is that she might be on some pain medication of some sort. And that's why her eyes look weird, like she's hyper. She's cleaning the house, like she doesn't know what to do with herself. But she doesn't look well. But let's get into the live and see what she's got to say.
Doesn't it, Scrape? Sure does. I'm telling you. I slept a lot. I fell asleep pretty early, and I woke up at like 5. It's because I split my sleep like that. Woke up at 5, prayed Fajr with Salah, spent a bit of time, went back down. Usually I stay awake, but I'm just like not feeling well these days, so.
You know what I think, Foodie? I think the bulk of your income is stuff that you do off of YouTube, whether it's cameos, whether it's Foodie requests. I think that's what you do during the nighttime hours. You spend your nighttime hours either doing those requests, or you're all over YouTube and you're all over Twitter, just like, like lurking about. Like you've always kept the weird night owl hours. I mean, I noticed that like way back in Crackhead Olympics. Like you're up all night till early morning and then you sleep all day. That's just how you roll. But that's also the reason why you look really tired. You don't get proper rest. And by the way, if you want to gain weight, that's an easy way to gain weight, because it is possible to gain weight simply because you're not getting proper sleep. When you don't get proper sleep, you wake up tired when you do go to bed. You'll produce more of the fat hormone cortisol, which leads to weight gain. Getting proper sleep helps to keep a person healthy. So if you're not getting proper sleep, between the excessive carbs, the excessive calories, the lack of sleep, you're setting yourself on a path of rapidly gaining weight and getting bigger and getting sicker.
While trying on jeans. Hey, Gabriel, you're sleepy? Oh, Azria's live? I haven't even checked around these YouTube streets.
She's a liar.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Shit. Oh, maybe I'll remember. Anyways, since I'm sick, I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be fasting from liquids. So I'm gonna be drinking water. But
And I wonder what's making you sick, Foodie. What is making you ill? Is what's making you ill because you're doing too many feedie requests? I mean, they're just overloading you with fast food. You can't fulfill all the requests. Like you're grabbing at that money. You're grabbing, grabbing, grabbing. And the feedies are just asking you to eat more and more and more. And your body is just, it can't go at that pace any longer. Because more and more you're complaining about being sick. So either you're lying about the amount of times that you are sick, or you are sick, but it has to do, I think, with either ongoing health problems, that, and the excessive food. Like your body is fighting back and you need to pay attention.
did my Nas Hekate's daughter teardrop a channel? My nausea get better. Uh, I'm still kind of nauseous, but
In my personal opinion, I don't think she has the flu. I don't think she has like the norovirus. I think it has to do with, again, maybe ongoing health problems that are getting rapidly worse and are just overeating. The bee eating, it's way out of control. Way out of control. She's eating to the point where she's making herself sick.
thanks, Kyra. I don't know, Larry. Sometimes I get sick. Not without my daughter. Yeah, I've seen that. It's a true story. I can have tea. Yeah, I need to get some tea. I need to do a grocery order actually. I'm just trying before I do groceries, I'm trying to figure out like what plan for meals and stuff I want to stick to. Like if I want to um it's hurting pain, yeah, chronic pain teardrop. I wish I could take it from
No, you don't.
you. Cuz seriously, you know, like it's cheaper for it's I have more access to pain meds and hospital care here, so I would.
Let's rewind what she just said. Where are we at right now? 4:15. I'm going to go back to that. We need to hear that again.
Because seriously, you know, like it's cheaper for it's. I have more access to pain meds and hospital care here, so I would take it from you.
I have more access to pain meds. Where are you getting the pain meds from? Don't you need a prescription for pain meds? Don't you need to see a doctor? When is the last time you've seen a doctor? So if you haven't seen a doctor, and if you don't have any legal prescriptions, who's giving you these pain meds? Where exactly are they coming from? Are they coming from, say, Salah's sister, who is a pharmacist? Is it stuff that you're getting, say, black market or on the street? Maybe Salah or somebody there knows somebody that can get certain things for you. Sounds like you are partaking of things that you're using those things to manage your pain, but they are things that don't cure the problem. Like you just take stuff so you can just get through your day. Because the things that are wrong with you are serious and you need to go home for. And they're not going to do it in Kuwait.
But yeah, like I still have brain fog from the morning. Sorry. Um, what was I saying? We gotta do a weigh in. We gotta clean.
You know, something like the energy that she's got going on in this live is weird. Like this live is barely started, like not even 5 minutes in, and she keeps saying, "What was I saying? What was I thinking?" Like she's absent-minded. Like look at her face. Does she look sober to you? That doesn't look like a sober person to me. Even if she just woke up, she doesn't look sober. But already, like, what was going on? Like, what am I saying? What do you want, Foodie?
But yeah, I need, because Salah was like, look, you need to decide what kind of meal plan you want to do. Like, do you want to order, like, make like a plan, like when I'm gonna order out, when I'm gonna cook, stuff like that. So I got to figure out what kind of food I want to cook. Being sick on your birthday, yeah. It doesn't really matter to me. Like, um, I don't know. Okay. So let me just also say one thing. It's a bit messy, so don't mind me.
Yeah, like I said, Foodie was being a bit unusual during this live because normally she'll just sit at her desk and talk and not really move, due to the fact she doesn't want people seeing the state of that apartment. Like, she doesn't want to show too much of it, but this live, like, she was all over the place. I think the only rooms she didn't show us were the bedrooms, the bathrooms, and the spare room. But like that front area, she was just like giving us the tour.
Watch a movie. So I want to say something, okay? Because somebody sent me an email. I swear this person makes multiple accounts just so they can harass me by email, right? So that's fine, whatever. But they sent me a screenshot of a reaction channel. I don't know who, but pointing out a travel bag on my floor, all right? So, hey, Buddha, I just want to say something. Right. So this is the parent travel bag. This is look, I have 3 bags, okay? I have this one, and one day I couldn't figure out which one I wanted to go out with to feed the cats and all these things. So I ended up taking this one, I believe. Sometimes this one. But this one, no, I don't like it. It's actually Salah's.
That still doesn't explain the baggage of clothes sitting directly in front of you. Chantal, why do you feel like you have to lie? You went on a visa run. I don't know what the outcome of that was, if it was good or bad for you, but you just got back. And the bag's sitting right there with the dirty clothes. You have plenty of time before you started this live to put the clothes in the laundry and like tidy things up to where nothing looked out of place. You chose not to do that. And you are also making the choice to swing the camera around and show everything. And you know how girl world is. We're all nosy over here. We notice details because the devil is in the details. And when we pick out the details, then you get mad, even though you're the one who showed us the details in the first place. So
these people, and this is just dirty laundry. What do you do?
Okay, so why is your dirty laundry in the living room? Shouldn't it be in the bedroom? Shouldn't it be in the bathroom? Answer that question. Why is your laundry in the living room?
She just had breakfast, so she's doing her post breakfast lick my butt kind of thing. Eyeing the travel bag. No, teardrop. And then they finally sent me an attachment of the travel chart. Apparently I'm next due to travel in June, at the end of June, so
Are you mad because Girl World can count? Because we're counting? Because we can count to 90 days? You're mad about that?
I'm gonna make sure to go absent on purpose just to confuse people. I don't care.
Yeah, go ahead, do that. Decide not to go live. We won't scream and yell about it. I don't know how much your videos make for you when you post one, Foodie, like what the average revenue is from one of your lives or one of your videos. But whatever the amount is, if you don't go live, you're depriving yourself of that money. In the meantime, when you don't go live, we can just turn around and do a retro react and wait for you to come back. So you're really not hurting us.
Dirty laundry from jet setting? Oh, it's not. I think there's like sheets in there and everything. See, that's sheets. Some Salah's clothes. My jilbab. I gotta wash it. No, Buddha. It's so odd, but hey, whatever they want to do, whatever. I'm just not even gonna care anymore. Like, it's kind of funny. Like, I don't know, that level of obsession with a chart. Like, I don't know.
Larry Mondello says you brought your own sheets in case of another accident. Oh no. Hey, I don't know why she's bringing her own sheets, but that's pretty odd to bring sheets.
You brought your own sheets in case of an accident. See that? Like, that's the thing. Like, it doesn't matter if I prove any. Like, if I took out my marriage certificate tomorrow, it wouldn't prove anything to people because they would just find some excuse like Larry just did.
Like, you know what though, Chantal? You like to be defiant and you love flipping the middle finger at girl world. You relish in any opportunity to flip us off. You hate us so much. Like, I hate those people. So I would think any opportunity to prove us wrong, you'd be jumping on it. So if you and Salah were really, 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 really married, and you want to give us all the big middle finger up, why not show the marriage certificate? Because if you guys are really married, the certificate would prove it, right? It would shut us all up. We're all over here saying the marriage is fake, blah, blah, blah. You could show the marriage certificate, and that would be a big FU to everybody in the community, but you won't show it. You'll show everything else. You'll talk about everything else. You'll talk about diarrhea down your leg and messing your pants in Thailand and leaving poo on a bed in Thailand, but you won't show a piece of paper? Weirdo.
Like, some explanation. You know what I mean? Oh, it's fake, blah, blah, blah. So, baby. Baby. Did you have breakfast? What kind did you have today? Hi, punk rock.
Booger.
Nikki, you had chicken rice. What is this? You brought her scratcher pieces are on my treadmill. You had chicken rice? Tell them. All right, guys, we have to clean. Look at this mess. This is shameful. I should weigh myself. Where am I going to weigh myself? By the way, her box is always clean. What is that? Is that poo? No, hair. Maybe hair and poo?
Can I ask a question? Why is the scooper inside the box? Why would you do that? I would think the scooper would be effective outside the box. Why is it inside the box? I've never put the scooper inside the box. Why is she doing it?
Clean around here today. Juice.
And that just straight up pisses me off right there. Do you see that sad little excuse of a scratching pad for Julia? Y'all look. This thing is tore up from the floor up. This thing is worn out. I don't know if that poor baby can sharpen her claws on it anymore because it needs to be thrown away. It does. It needs to be thrown away. It's a little piece of cardboard, and she's been using it, and like it's not effective anymore. Chantal, don't be cheap. Go get her a brand new one.
Scratch her. She tears it to shreds, and then
Well,
hello.
hello, she's a cat. That's how she's sharpening her claws. Go get her a new one. That one is just sad.
Everywhere. Hi, Olga. Okay. How are you going to make yourself feel special? I'm not.
Why are you out of breath just walking down the hall?
Your cats do the same thing. Oops. 0, it said. I wish I weighed 0. 165.
We didn't see a number. And Chantal lies. She can make up any number she wants. You're still over 500 pounds, Foodie. You're about 550 plus. You know, like it's weird. You're very weird. You're over there catering to the feedies. And if you came right out and said to everybody, yeah, I'm 550 plus pounds, the feedies would go wild. They would go absolutely bananas. They want you big. They're paying you to eat so you'll get bigger. So why are you lying to people about your weight? Is it a vanity thing? Is there something going on in your head that you've convinced yourself that you can eat whatever you want and you won't gain weight? That you're not going to get in the 400, 500 pound range when you already are? Is that what it is? Like you're catering to people that are all about get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger for us, Chantal, and yet you deny how big you are. You're just strange.
I was 167. I didn't lose much.
You haven't lost anything at all. Why do you think people believe that you're losing weight when we've seen what you eat, the portions that you eat? There's no possible way that you could be losing weight.
All right.
And besides that, if Foodie were losing weight, we'd be able to tell. We'd be able to tell just by her face alone. Because if you start to lose weight, your face will literally start to change shape. It'll get smaller. I've only seen one time when Foodie lost weight, and that's when she was, hanging around Natter. She was on that special Coca-Cola diet, and she was doing a lot of that, and she lost about 50, maybe 70 pounds, and you could see that she was losing the weight because you could see a little bit of her cheekbones up here, and you could see her ears weren't plastered up against her head. So if you're losing weight, Foodie, why is your face so bloated? Like your face would be getting smaller, not bigger, if you were losing weight.
$165. I don't know what that is in I gotta take my inhaler in pounds, but
You know what? Let me go look that up. Give me a second. I'm curious too. kg to pounds. Okay, so she said what, 165, right? 165. Oh, get out of here, Foodie. She's claiming that she's 363 pounds. That would make her smaller than the weight that she was at when she was with BB. 363 pounds. Shut up. You are not. If you were 363 pounds, Foodie, you would have a lot more mobility. You wouldn't be breathing as heavy. Your face wouldn't be so bloated and round. Like, who are you trying to lie to?
The bags will eventually subside, but where?
Booger.
Yeah. I don't know what a cigarette's doing there, honestly.
Yeah, so somebody spotted that there was a cigarette sitting on the couch. And in the past, Foodie has confessed that, ow, booger, you're being a booger. She's biting on me. Ow. Foodie has confessed that she does smoke cigarettes. We know that she smokes the shisha, which is more intense than smoking a cigarette or two. But she does smoke cigarettes. She smoked them on camera. So somebody clocked her and said, I see a cigarette just sitting there on the couch. And now she's like, I don't know what that's doing there.
What the hell? There's all kinds of things on the couch.
Yeah, see? And if you're as half a good a liar as you think you are, if you're coming on camera and you're planning on lying to people or trying to sell a set of lies, you would think that before you come online, you would clean up the scene of the crime so that there's nothing to spot and there's nothing to clock. But you're lazy and you need your attention. So you're going to hop online without cleaning yourself up, without cleaning up your environment. You're just going to let people find whatever it is they find. And then you get mad at them when they spot things that you're not paying attention to.
Okay. Let's clean. Yeah, I just woke up, page 5. I need to take my inhaler. Kind of, I had shisha, you know. So. Okay. First things, let's bring the things that go in the kitchen into the kitchen. Okay. So. Right.
What? Girl, why is that bread not in the kitchen? Why is that random bread just sitting there by your desk?
Cat treat? No. Cat treat can stay here. Cat food.
Like, why is all that stuff there?
How am I going to put the camera? Hey, Jetri. Estonia. Oh, nice. You feel like death Kens? I hope you feel better. Double apple. Oh, nice, Buddha. In Arabic, apple is tufa. Tufa. Mine, I only like lemon mint because...
Okay, blah, blah, blah about the freaking shisha. Shut up and get up and do something.
Yeah, I know. The ritual is part of the fun, eh?
So let's be clear. She's got a washer and dryer right here in the kitchen area. There's absolutely no reason why Foodie should be coming on camera wearing dirty, filthy, nasty clothes. Since she's got a washer and dryer hookup right here, every time she comes on camera, she should have a clean outfit on. I mean, a washer and dryer hookup in your place, you can't get any better than that. There's no excuse for wearing the same clothes day in and day out.
I know what you mean, Buddha. All right, cat food I'm gonna put in here.
And this detail is kind of bothering me. I know it's just silly. Sorry, but Chantal, like all that money you've been spending in fast food, girlfriend, um, you need to order some laundry soap. It's almost out. Look, she got an empty bottle just sitting up there all by its lonesome. Get some laundry soap. Stop spending all your money on fast food. Tell your feedies to send you money for laundry soap.
I have to clean out my freezer. Seriously.
Why? Why? Now, you guys are going to see here in a minute her open up the fridge. The fridge is pretty much empty, which is odd. If she was just doing a visa run, visa hop over the border, which doesn't take any time at all, it's not like going on vacation for weeks and weeks. Wouldn't you have food in your fridge for when you come home? Because the food's not going to go bad within a matter of a few days, right? Why is her fridge empty? And now she's talking about, I got to clean out my freezer. So why are you purposely keeping your fridge empty? And now you're talking about cleaning out your freezer. Are you planning on going somewhere? Is that what's going on? Maybe you didn't get good news from your visa run, visa hop, and you got to go back home to Canada. I don't know. But I would think somebody who's caught up in an addiction to food, that you would make sure to have food all the time. And yet your fridge is strangely empty. Strangely empty.
And my cupboards.
I have to clean out my freezer. And now she's talking about, I got to clean out my cupboards. Here are my thoughts. The only time you care about cleaning out your cupboards, cleaning out your fridge, cleaning out your freezer when you're moving out. Unless there's, say, a situation where there's a pest infestation and there's all the apartments are going to be sprayed, and they tell you to take stuff out of the cupboard, take stuff out of the pantry and cover it up because they're spraying for bugs. The only other occasion is if you're getting ready to move out. That's when you do like a thorough clean and the cupboards get scrubbed out. The fridge gets emptied when you're vacating the premises. And I've only known Foodie to do cleaning when she's got to leave and go home to Canada. Like that's the only time she'll clean anywhere, is when she's leaving. So I don't know. I'm getting that sense that she's still got to go. Like maybe she's acting like, I'm going to be in Kuwait for another 3 months, and she's leading everybody on a wild goose chase and making everybody think, oh, I'm going to be here for another 3 months, when she might just pop back up in Canada like, surprise. We'll know after the 1st of April.
I don't have any dishes.
Now, what's all those dishes stacked over there on the counter then? Why aren't they put away?
But hold on.
Like, where'd she go? Okay, here we go. Let me blow this up. Screw the chat for a minute. I'm blowing this up. I don't need to see what people are saying in the chat right now. I'm zeroed in on this. And by the way, Foodie, I'm loving this setup right over here on the stove. You got the cleaning products on the stove. Loving that. Your organization skills are on point, Foodie. Seriously. Okay. Clear shot. You guys can see what's going on with that fridge. That sucker is empty. Look at it. Empty. Ain't nothing going on in that fridge except echoes. That sucker is empty. So we got the empty refrigerator. Now check out her freezer. It's completely different than her fridge. The fridge is empty, but the freezer is mainly packed with packages of the pita bread. That is so odd to me. Pita bread is not that expensive. It's cheap, right? But she's got packages and packages and packages of pita bread in the freezer, just frozen for no random reason.
I hate restocking the water.
Okay, so we got a partial shot of the freezer. She's got stuff in the freezer, but again, isn't that weird? She's got all kinds of stuff in the freezer. More than likely, it's processed foods, nothing really healthy, and then the fridge is just empty. There's another clear shot. That's all of this is probably bread right here. Bread, bread, bread. You guys can see it. Bread, pita bread all day. I don't understand that. Why she buys so many packages of pita bread and then she freezes them.
I need a garbage bag. I know I have a stain on my dress, by the way.
You would think that the domestic goddess known as Foodie Beauty, that knowing that her abayas are going to get stained, if she wants to maintain a sense of cleanliness, what she could do is get some sort of an apron or something to put on herself so that her clothes will stay clean a little bit longer. But she's always and forever just staining up her clothes and making them filthy.
Really, Hannah? Your kitchen's small? Teardrop? Yeah. You should have seen. Remember my kitchen? From Fahayil? Yeah, healthy.
This is just a theory, just a feeling. I think maybe Salah told her to clean up the apartment a little bit. And in order for Foodie to achieve that, she might have taken maybe some kind of aid or painkiller to help her move around and to help with the pain so she could get certain things done.
Foodie. Yeah. You've been sweeping for 3. I did wash my floors like a few days ago, so I think I just need to sweep it too.
Yeah, all this emphasis on cleaning. Since when has Chantal ever cared about having a clean space? She never has. She's filthy. She's naturally filthy. Again, the only time she cares about, I got to clean and I got to clean things up and I got to do laundry and I got to sweep the floors is if she's got to leave wherever she is and go somewhere else. Or somebody makes her clean for some reason.
Yeah, my eyes look really bad when I just wake up. Until I shower, wash my face, and then I'll look normal. Don't worry, you'll see.
Can I ask a question, Chantal? This is your channel and you can do what you want. You can absolutely do what you want. Why not take a shower? Why not wash your clothes? Get some clean clothes to put on. Take a shower, put on those clean clothes, put on your makeup, get a nice meal, and that way you can come on camera and be at your best. Why do you insist on coming on camera looking like crap? What's with that? You want to make money on YouTube, yet you come on camera and you don't care about yourself at all.
You want to watch me do this?
Excuse me. See, there's that area. This mirror, I remember this mirror in particular. I remember it very well. It was in the spare room. So why is it over here right now? And why is are these toiletries right next to you? I mean, make it make sense. There's 2 bathrooms. Why is your stuff not in your bathroom or in that spare room? Why is it sitting there next to you?
Look at the water bottles. Finish this.
Yeah, I think maybe Salah and her had a talk, and he's like, you need to clean up your mess. You need, at least bag up all the trash. Try to do what you can. He told her to clean things up.
So, it's frustrating that I don't have I use my table as a desk for myself because I don't like that room because it's hotter. The AC doesn't work as well. Because clutter is treadmill. I'm gonna try to go on it today.
Sure you are. Sure. Baked Korean isn't wrong. The biggest clutter is a stupid treadmill. Well, it wouldn't be a stupid treadmill if she used it. it would make sense to have it in the apartment, but it doesn't make sense if you're having it in the apartment and it's taking up the room and you're not doing a doggone thing with it. So you might as well just, put it back where you found it or give it to somebody, free up some room in the space.
Anna, yay! Welcome to Computers, Anna. Ready, set, bees. Thank you. No, they came and cleaned the AC not long ago, Great Korean. It's always been like that in the room. So, but this is going to be my my little desk. That's why it gets dirty. Salah hates it. He's like, I bought you that vanity for nothing. Sorry. This will be tomorrow's breakfast for her. Clinique is expensive bread. Hey, Anna. Good job. Thank you. This area gets dirty routinely, obviously, so because I'm messy.
Yeah, you are. You remember the Canadian villa back in Crackhead Olympics? That was bad. That was real bad. Anybody that remembers, you know why I'm laughing. She had mummified food in a drawer, in a dresser that she was streaming from, the KFC drawer, she called it. Mummified food, fruit flies everywhere, moldy pots, rotting food in the fridge. Lord, it was a sight.
Okay. My earphone, I can't lose that.
Look at all that clutter. Take all that stuff to the bathroom. That's where it belongs. Why is it sitting out like that?
Okay. All right. Let's do this.
So she's going to try to impress us with her stacking skills. She's going to stack everything into that bag versus pick it up and take it to the bathroom where it needs to be.
Which we have to take.
I just want to know why that mirror is sitting right there. Why is it not in the other room?
It's like Jenga. Now I gotta clean this. The caboodles, yeah, I do. I have stuff to organize, but I just I'm not organized enough to use the organization tools. I'm one of those people, yeah. No, it was someone shouting on the streets.
No, it wasn't. I heard the screaming in the background. That was not from the street. That was someone in one of the other apartments close by that was getting bothered by what you were doing. That sound, it sounded like it was somebody screaming and you could hear it. It was like sound filtering through walls, not from street level.
Yes, eat your breakfast. Finish your breakfast. Finish your breakfast.
I'm going to let y'all know there's a lot of distraction, run up the meter footage in this live. Like her just running up the meter by staying busy, pretending to clean, focusing on Julia, just stretching out the time of the live, doing absolutely nothing.
Good girl. Or something. And I'm already thinking of food because I'm hungry. You're not really teardrop? No, and you have a sweet tooth. I'm telling you, it's something else. It's so good. But a birthday cake? I should cool it on the sweets.
Yeah, you think? I think your diabetes would approve if you did. But you also, she just told on herself. She just told on herself. I really need to cool it with the sweets. That's kind of a self-confession that she's been consuming too many carbs and too much sugar for her to say something like that. She's basically confessing that she's been eating a lot off camera.
Yum, Penny. You finish your brekkie. That's a good girl. Okay, now we have to clean it up. I don't use harsh chemicals on the table because she frequents the table.
As if you care. Chantal, you don't care about Julia. So don't start acting like you care about Julia now. Just recently, you were pinching Julia. The same way you pinched BBJ when you got mad at her. Don't act like you care about Julia right now. When you sat there and you let Julia go in and out of heat for a long, long time. A long time. You didn't fix the problem right away. And you didn't care about Julia when she finally got fixed. And then you decided, I don't want her to wear the cone of shame. And because she didn't, she tore her stitches out. And then you had to take Julia back to the vet because you chose not to listen to the vet about keeping the cone on them. You're not a good pet owner.
So I pretty much just use water. Kleenex. You hate pasta? Should I trust you? Pasta is a blaster.
And I want to point this out right here. Let me blow it up. You guys can tell that this item is on inside out because look, like the buttons, here's one of the buttons on the inside. It's not the way it's supposed to be. It's dirty, it's filthy. But rather than wash it, she turned it inside out to hide the stains, although the stains aren't hidden very well.
Or water. Ooh, I gotta clean this. When it's been an eating channel. Yeah, that's the thing, eh? Okay, I'll be right back. Well, I mean, it can always be an eating channel because, like, you have to eat in life, you know?
Chantal, you do have an eating channel. That's all you do on your channel anymore is eat. That's what you're looking for. That's what you cater to, the feedies. You're looking for the people with a food fetish. You started off having a regular YouTube channel, but then you figured out pretty quick that the food fetish guys were finding you and they had money and they will give you money. And so you started catering exclusively to them. So what do you mean I might just turn my channel into a food channel? Isn't that what it's been the entire time?
It just depends on what kind of baked wow pasta. White bread. You can add things to it though. You can actually add like cleavage meat. Hey, Chris. A really good thing to add like fiber and protein to it, because the white noodles don't have fiber. Well, you can use protein pasta, like lentil pasta.
What, we're talking about food again. I don't care. Move along, madam.
So I'll be right back. We gotta clean the queen's dishes, her food dishes. Yeah.
She's breathing heavy, cleaning out the cat dishes. Disturbing.
All right, Julia. All right, so here's the table. Final result. Her area is nice and clean. My area.
Why is she breathing hard? She just wiped off a table.
Is at least tidy and clean.
For now.
I do my makeup right here, guys. All right, now we have to clean this stuff here. Laundry has to be done, I guess.
I guess.
Good. Thank you. Godspeed. Seraphim, yeah. You feel good after the cleaning, but like...
You didn't do very much. You went in the kitchen and you did like 3 seconds worth of sweeping. You wiped off a table or two and you put some trash into a trash bag and stacked some of your stuff on top of each other. And that's your idea of cleaning.
Now, this is just routine things I do pretty much on a daily.
No, untrue. Because if you did those things on the daily, there'd be less mess.
Seriously. Well, whenever I have visitors, I move this stuff. This is just...
What visitors? Who's coming over? How come we don't hear about them? Chantal, you use anybody and anything for content. You love doing your story times. So if people were coming over, people were hanging out with you, wouldn't we hear about it? Wouldn't there be a story time about people coming over and having a cup of coffee with you? We never hear about that. There are no story times where you come to us and say, I hung out with somebody today, and this is what the conversation was. Nobody comes to the house to visit except Salah, and he doesn't want to be there. He's rarely there. You're there at the house alone a lot.
It's like, you know. And when we have visitors, we move the table too over this way.
There's no visitors coming over. You're there all the time. You never go anywhere. You're never out of the house. And even if, say, you went out to do a drive in the Sherry and left Salah alone at the place, do you think he's going to have anybody over and entertain them, knowing at any moment you can come back and what a party killer you are? You're the only one there.
Looks like you had fun. It's a mess.
What do you think you're due?
So, it's Saturday. May as well. Oh, if dog puke, yeah. Cat puke too grosses. It doesn't gross me out, but Salah, yeah, grosses him out.
Okay, we're jumping ahead. I told you, like, we're going to jump ahead a lot. I warned you guys this was going to be a bit boring. It is. She spends more time off camera than she does on camera.
You know? The last time I melted, I'll be honest about melting cheese. Honestly, I did melt cheese last month. Hey, thanks, Zach.
Oos. Oos.
You know what she's doing? She doesn't know what to talk about. She honestly does not know what to talk about. That's why she's constantly doing the cat deflection. I don't know what to say. I might be under the influence of painkillers. My mind is drifting all over the place. I'm trying to think of ways to fill up the time. I'm moving around the house and I'm pretending to do housework. But I really have nothing to talk about with anybody. So I'm constantly going to be addressing my cat and talking about my cat because she's just struggling. She's struggling hard with what do I say and what do I do, and I don't know.
What do you do, Oos? Sort of, Zach. Mostly money and gift cards. Parmesan smells like puke. It does. It's tangy, that's why. Okay, so what I usually do, I'm gonna move the crazy frog thing. Put it here. That's...
Hey.
Letty.
Again, here's our Dome-Mestic goddess. Look at me, guys. I'm wiping off a table. Aren't I clever? Gee, Chantal, what are you wiping that table with? A piece of sandpaper? What is she using? Wait a minute. I got to see this. Hold on. Oh, stop it. Is she using one of those sponges that you use for your dishes? And she's using like the scratchy side of the sponge? From the sounds of it, that's the way it sounds, y'all. Ooh, bad ASMR. Bad. It's hurting my teeth. Why is she using that on that table? Why does it sound like that? She is using a kitchen sponge like you normally use for the dishes. Look. I know because I use these. You got the soft side, and then you got the scratchy side. Like if you got dishes with like baked on food or something on them. She's using a kitchen sponge for dishes to wipe off her coffee table. Girl, you're doing it wrong.
This table's pretty cool.
Please tell me that you're not going to take that sponge and put it back in the kitchen and use that for your dishes. Ow. Okay, now I have a question. So just a few minutes ago, Chantal was like, "Oh, I care about Julia so much that I'm only going to clean the desk with water because I don't want her coming in contact with chemicals," right? That's what she said. So Julia is a cat, and Julia is going to hop on things like the couches, like the tables, and yet she just sprayed some stuff in the air, and that stuff is going to drop down on the table, and Julia might hop on that table. So, as a pet owner, knowing that you have a cat that likes to jump up on tables and couches, why would you spray that stuff directly on top of the table if you don't want her to have contact with chemicals? Oh, God. Who taught this woman to clean? Ow. This bothers me. I got to remark on it. I don't understand the reasoning behind having those two smaller tables in the living room area. Like you got the big coffee table, then you have the two smaller side tables, I guess. They're underneath the coffee table. Like, why not just put them in the spare room if you're not going to use them for anything and they're just taking up room in that tiny room? That bugs me so much. Fix it, Chantal.
Well, the table is clean. I gotta put my mukbang table in here. Put this under here. I'll see. Are you a girl? Nobody knows.
See, she keeps talking to the cat.
Hold on, I gotta have some.
Is that called a prayer?
A lot to make these goals happen. So I guess I'm just gonna come right out and say special occasions, birthday gifts, shopping, and for unnecessary things that I want are on the side for now. I'm trying to forego expensive coffees, but sacrifice the Casio.
Baked Korean says, I think you need to sacrifice the treadmill, and Salah can sacrifice the Casio keyboard. Yeah. Yeah, why not? I mean, neither one of those things are of any use.
The treadmill, I gotta use it. Okay.
Yeah, it's, you know what? Thank you for bringing it up, Sheesh. Sheesh says, girl, it's 9K. You can take us on a little shopping. So when she did her birthday bees live stream, she was telling people that Salah, for her birthday, gave her $9,000. That's a lot of money. So allegedly, she has $9,000 in her pocket right now because her birthday was yesterday. She should have that money still in pocket. And isn't it weird that today she's talking like she's broke? She's allegedly she has $9,000 in her pocket, but she's talking like, "Oh, we have to sacrifice." he's got to sacrifice things, and I've got to sacrifice things at the time that you got money in hand. You got a lot of money right now.
So
Unless you don't, unless you're a big old liar, which it sounds like you are, because it's weird that you said specifically $9,000, and that's the amount that you sent Salah long ago. So did he give the money back to you as a here's your money back, now get out of Kuwait type of thing?
there's no 9K. I was being cheeky because people were saying that when I first got with Salah, I gave him 9K.
Because you did. Because you did.
Just stupid. Wolf Pup, there's speakers on every mosque, and there's several mosques throughout every city. So there's somebody who does the call to prayer. Yeah. And speaking of keyboard playing, there was nobody yelling at us yesterday. There were people yelling on the street, and I was making a joke. Did someone yell? But people take everything I say literal, except when I actually, it doesn't matter. Whenever I say anything that's the truth, they don't believe it. So I'm not going to explain myself anymore. But for the financial part, I don't mind sharing that because I do kind of want to, I'm trying to think of like content stuff. And people say I don't have hobbies. I do need to find an enjoyable hobby, but before I can do that,
Before she says anything, I'm going to go on record as saying that I'm smelling something. Yeah, the scent is in the air. I'm definitely picking up the aroma of eau de scam. Like that perfume is in the air, y'all. I'm smelling the aroma. It's coming on strong. It's fast approaching. I feel it passing by me even now. Like I just feel it that she's coming forward with. I feel like there's a sales pitch in all of this. Let's see.
no one yelled shut up. First of all, nobody will do that here. Like, nobody's going to yell at you to shut up here. People do not act that way here. Our neighbors are very private, quiet, nice people.
Yeah, and you're not. They are. You're not. You're very disrespectful and rude. You're up like midnight, 2, 3 in the morning. And then that idiot airhead, Salah, he plays his keyboard at max level, max volume. Sound carries. If it's late and there are people in the building and they're not on YouTube, they're just working regular jobs and they're trying to get their sleep, they can't sleep because of people like you and Salah just making all kinds of racket. You have absolutely no respect for the other people that live there. So when you guys did that live stream, it's not during the normal daytime hours where perhaps somebody was on the street and just yelling at somebody else. It was late. It was really late. So saying it was somebody on the street, nah. It was somebody in the building who was ticked off because they were trying to get their rest, and you and Salah were not being nice, being far too loud, and they were at the end of their patience.
We never hear them. Very rarely. Like, I don't even hear the baby like anymore. The walls are very thick.
Lies. Don't believe that. I don't believe that. I really don't believe that, because the building that they're staying in, they are not posh apartments, y'all. It's not a poshy kind of place. High rise, high rent kind of place. You know what I mean? It's rather cheap there. And if you're renting in a place that's on the cheaper side, that means as far as the way the places are constructed, cheaper construction means thinner walls. So there are places on the low side as far as the rent. I guarantee you the walls are paper thin.
Thick cement.
No. Wrong. Wrong.
Hey, Ria.
If what you say is true, Chantal, if what you say is true, why is it on more than one occasion that you'll be streaming, right, at your desk, and we can hear people out in the hallway? If the walls are like really, really thick and absorb sound, which I doubt, how is it we can hear people out in the hallway? How would that be possible?
Baked. Yeah, if you like, honestly, in the future, inshallah, like I would like to have, we want to travel like a lot of different places. That's going to be expensive.
How is that going to be possible? I mean, let's talk really real here, Chantal. Like, how is that going to be possible? You talk all the time about, I want to travel. I want to do things. Here's the thing. If you got your health together, and if you got on top of your food addiction, you might be able to travel, because how much money do you spend on food a month? How much money does it take to keep your food addiction happy? If you want to travel, you got to get your health right. You got to get yourself to a place where you can comfortably travel and you can do things and you can explore places and you can be comfortable and have fun. You are not at that level right now. And even if you started now, it would take quite a while to get there. You are hundreds and hundreds of pounds overweight. You're very sensitive to the heat. You might have nerve damage in your leg. Just walking across the room, you breathe heavy. How in the world are you going to travel the world and go sightseeing or go to the beach and do some sunbathing or just explore around and talk to people if just walking a few steps wears you out? If you want to travel, you have to make the choice of either you're taking care of your health and you are traveling, or you're giving your all to your food addiction, because you can't do both. You don't have that kind of money or health where you can do both. Every time you go somewhere like Kuwait, you stay there for a while, you gain more weight, you stack up more health problems, and then every time you have to go travel, it becomes more of a problem. You hate traveling now. You hate going to the airport. You hate walking through the airport. It wears you out. You don't like people staring at you. You don't like the fact that you have to get 2 seats on an airplane. You don't like the getting from point A to point B. All these things coming at you. But rather than address them and deal with them, you want to mask the problems and just ignore them. And then they keep stacking up. Talking about doing something doesn't make something happen.
Someday, I'm getting older, I realize that I would like to have, somewhere more permanent, like a nice home or something, and
Okay, here's an important question. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want these things? If you want them bad enough, you will make the right choices. You'll stop making bad choices and choosing the addiction over everything else. Giving into your food addiction and catering to those who promote it is the reason why you don't have any of the things you think about. You're spending so much time catering to the food fetish and all the food fetish people and doing the request back to back to back is the reason why you can't travel, is the reason why you're having trouble walking, trouble breathing. having trouble finding clothes to fit you. It's part of the reason why you feel insecure and jealous and possessive and controlling. Is the reason why you're at a place now where you need a caretaker or an assistant, because you're not independent. You can't be independent. It might be dangerous for you to be on your own, because what if something happens to you? If you have a medical event, wherever it is you are, and nobody is there to know or call 911. All because you are so focused on your food addiction. You got to let it go.
We're not going to get there if we're wasting money on Lush, if we're wasting money on, I can't. I have my goals in mind all the time.
Chantal, don't fool yourself. If you sat down and you figured out where the money was going, what you were spending on what, I bet any amount of money, your biggest expense would be on the food. Like, this amount goes for rent, this amount goes for bills, this amount goes for Julia's stuff, this amount goes for Salah, but the biggest amount would be on your food bill. If you totaled up all the trips out to get fast food, the coffees, the desserts, ordering stuff, I mean, that would eclipse everything else. You can't blame it on Salah. You can't blame it on buying Lush products. It's about the food. That's where the bulk of your money goes.
And hopefully someday you guys will see what all this hard working and sacrificing,
Stop it. First of all, you're not doing hard work. Secondly, you're not sacrificing anything. What hard work? Sitting in front of a camera and eating a meal, that's hard work. Uploading a video to YouTube, which doesn't take any blood or sweat, is hard work. Are you kidding me? And what exactly do you call sacrifice? Not having an iced coffee that day? Not buying fast food for a day? That's sacrifice? That's weird. Most of us normal people, we might get fast food maybe once a month. Yeah. And if we want iced coffee, we make it at home, because that's super simple. You can make your own iced coffee at home. Screw Starbucks. You can just buy you can go on YouTube right now, any Starbucks drink you guys like. You can look up the drink on YouTube. You can see the stuff that's needed to make it at home, and save yourself a lot of money that way. And it would taste a lot better. You can make your own cold brew coffees at home. Like any kind of coffee drink you could think of, you can make it at home. Just buy the necessary ingredients and make it yourself. But her idea of sacrifice is, I can't buy iced coffees 3 or 4 times a day. I can't buy $200 in takeout a day. Oh, I'm sacrificing. If that's what you call a sacrifice, those are sacrifices you need to make anyway for the sake of your health. But it's not a big deal.
So anyways, I was thinking hobby-wise, like content-wise. Content is kind of my hobby as well. So I think that, I know, right? Superboy, Elizu, make my own hijabs. That's a good idea. Maybe someday. The mic is not okay. So what I was thinking is maybe doing some videos on, like, everyday things, like of how
The volume went down because she moved the microphone.
we save money on stuff and how to make budget meals, and
So like, okay, so where are we right now? We went from doing mukbangs and eating massive amounts of food, and in this moment she's now frugal Fanny. Not only is she a domestic house goddess, but she's frugal Fanny. Like, I am so smart with my money, and I'm gonna be so smart with my money. Give her about a day or two. She'll post a mukbang, and she'll show us a fast food meal after all the talk about I'm going to save money and sacrifice.
Stuff like that. And it's challenging for me. It really is, because look, when I was in the villa, like, look how much money I used to spend on just box mountain stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We remember. And for those who weren't around during that time period, let me just give you the backstory on Box Mountain. So when Chantal was staying at the Canadian villa with Pete, this was during Crackhead Olympics when she was seeing Natter, Chantal was making dumb amounts of money. We're talking there was a few months she was making $20,000, $30,000 a month. And she would just be going wild with the money. Not only was she supporting Natter 100%, buying his food, paying his bills, paying his rent, paying for the phone, going to Farm Boy, stocking his pantry, stocking his fridge, but she was going on Amazon and buying so much stuff that she would have literal piles of boxes from floor to ceiling in several areas of her house. She had so many of them that we nicknamed them Box Mountains. She had at least 3 or 4 piles of just empty boxes. And she wouldn't break down the boxes and throw them away. It got so bad that she, rather than have Pete break down the boxes, which he could have done, and take the boxes to the dumpster, she actually paid someone $500 to break down all the boxes and cart them away. She could have kept $500 in her pocket if she would have she could have done it on stream. Just grab some boxes and start breaking them down in front of people, or have Pete do it. She paid somebody $500 because she didn't want to be bothered. Yeah, that's how much money she was rolling with back in the day.
Frivolous crap that I ended up not taking anything with me. So all of that money was wasted. So, you can't hear me? Struggle meals. Honestly, it would probably be better for my health anyways. You know?
It might be better for your health if you were scale back on the food, but the problem is you got that food addiction and it doesn't like to be deprived, and it's like you, Chantal. It feels entitled to the fast food. You spoiled it. You indulged it. And now it's like a raging toddler in your mind saying it wants what it wants, and it's going to mess with you to get what it wants. So you may start off in a place where I want to change, but that food addiction, it's going to be like, no, ma'am, not today. I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to get all up inside your thoughts and all up inside your feelings. And I'm going to make you upset. And I'm going to make you irritable. And when you're sad and when you're crying and when you're lonely, I'm going to sneak up on you. And I know exactly what to say to you to get what I want. Even if you do the slightest little thing around the house, any good thing, I'm going to come forward and say to you, to justify feeding me, you were good today. You wiped off a table. You swept the floor. You deserve some cheesecake now. Yeah, food addiction is like that. I'm laughing about it because I can laugh about it now. It's not funny. Addiction is not funny. But I'm laughing about like just how manipulative addiction can be. It is manipulative. Your thoughts, your feelings, that addiction, it knows who you are. It knows what your weak points are, and it will go straight for them. And she's got a very weak mind. She doesn't have any strength. She has no coping skills, no coping mechanisms, hence the reason why the addiction always wins.
Andrew Tate impressions. That would mean I'd have to watch him. And really, I don't need to be enraged. you know. Love to hear the cron. Mayonnaise sandwiches. You like those? Yeah, I want to design merch. That's another hobby I can do. And
Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. I'm not trying to be rude. Um, I think if she wanted to go the merch, if you want to go down the merch mile and put up a merch store, her best bet would be to think of a design idea, have somebody else design the art. I, I think that would be better. But Chantal missed out on thousands of dollars like way back in the day if she had just set up a merch store and made like a coffee mug and a t-shirt and a hoodie. Like the money she could have made just off of that, but that time has passed.
that's the thing. But like first I have to be able to take care of my daily stuff and, how come the audio sucks? What the fudge? So, yeah. Okay, what about now? Imagine if he starts a reaction channel. I don't care. It's okay there. You would, Fluff Puff? Aw. Okay, well, thank you. It's encouraging to hear that. I'd love to hear about my beliefs. I did talk about some, benefits that things that I've learned and since, being a Muslimah, but
You haven't learned anything. You haven't learned anything. That's a shame that you haven't learned anything, that you haven't improved in all the time that you've been there, but you haven't learned anything.
be Korean. No, I'm not going to pay for an editor. They're not taking all my YouTube income. Are you crazy?
You know, Chantal, this is where you're stupid. Didn't nobody ever taught you have to spend money to make money? You know, taking a little bit of money and doing things the right way is worth it. If you're someone and let's just say there's something you don't know how to do or you don't have the talent to do, there's nothing wrong with seeking out somebody who knows what they're doing that can do paid work for you. If it means in the end you get a quality product that you can put in front of people, and if people like it, there's a better chance that they will buy the product or service. But you're so cheap minded. All you could think about is, well, I don't want to part with any of my money. I don't want to pay people to do quality work. I would rather just do stuff on my own and put out crappy products that nobody is going to buy. You know, you're cheap minded. Cheap, 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 cheap.
So, yeah, it's not, I know people are going to be like, oh, you're poor, whatever.
I'm going to point something out to you, and it's coming to my mind right now. Chantal, I know you've heard of the person Henry Ford, like the car company. I forget all the details, but Henry Ford, like when he was starting the car company, people were coming at him and saying, like, do you know this, 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 and this as far as the process of making a car? His answer back was, I don't have to know all these different things. I don't have to know absolutely everything about everything. But because I am the person who started this company, I can gather people to me that know about these different things. I can find these people and bring them to me and pay them to be in charge of these different areas. Being powerful doesn't mean you have to know absolutely everything about everything, It's just recognizing talent and intelligence and skill and being smart enough that you say, I want that person on my team. I want them working for me. Because if they work for me, it's going to benefit me. I don't necessarily have to know everything about everything. I don't have to do everything myself. I can delegate certain jobs and responsibilities to certain people. And if you don't have any creative talent, if you're not someone that you draw or paint, you're not creative like that, it would make sense to seek out someone that is their specialty.
Actually, we're very far from poor. I mean, I find it would be like a slap in the face to say that we're poor when there's so many people that have like so much less. Like,
You're telling on yourself again, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you telling on yourself right now. You're coming on camera and you're saying we are far from poor. When not too long ago, you were coming on camera wanting people to send you money through on PayPal, wanting people to pay for your meals, although this is your channel, you do food content, you should be paying for your own doggone food. You shouldn't have this whole ridiculous deal of like food sponsorships. You also asked people to send you money on PayPal to buy the cat food that you would feed the cats on the beach, when bags of cat food are not that expensive. Like, you've been e-begging like crazy lately. So if you're far from poor, you shouldn't be asking people to give you money on PayPal for anything. You understand? Because the people that are in your audience, I'm sure they make far less than you, and they have to work 10 times as hard for what they got. You shouldn't be asking hardworking people for their money if you're doing okay. And if there's any content on your channel that you cannot afford to do, then just don't do it. Find something else to do.
we're very blessed to live a very comfortable life, but I need to save. We need to save. And
I'm smelling the aroma. Yeah? I'm smelling the perfume, y'all. There it is. It's in the air. I'm smelling the grift perfume. That's the scent of Grift body spray. It's got notes of desperation mixed with undertones of greed. Yeah. And the lingering notes are, like sad face. It's like I'm smell. Where is it coming from? Oh, it's coming from Chantal. There's all these things I want to do. I want to save. I want to go places. She's saying this stuff on purpose on her channel in front of her beezers, hoping that they send her money. I've got all these dreams, y'all. And I'm letting you know about these things that I want to do because I hope that you feel sorry for me and send me your money. When I just got through saying, I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. So why are you putting things out there this way in front of people? I ask you. You're not telling your audience, don't send me your money. I'm okay. No. There's this undertone of send me your money. She's doing that thing, y'all, that sneaky, shisty thing of begging without outright begging, asking without outright asking. And scam artists will do that to you. The shystiest people, they know how to get things out of other people without directly asking. They prefer it that way, because if they don't directly ask you for what they want, they're kind of putting it out there that they need something, and then you give it to them. And then once you figure out that you've been had, and then you go back to them and go, you just came at me for money. Then they can say, well, I didn't ask you for anything. It was a gift. I didn't ask you for anything. You just chose to give it to me. That's going to be their defense. So she's purposely putting it out in front of her audience. I want to go travel. Da 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 da. People want to see her travel. They want her to do new things. But she's putting it in front of people. I need money for these things. So the implication is, if you guys want me to give you interesting content, you need to send me money. Yep, that aroma in the air.
Work towards our goals and be responsible. You know, so we have things we need. So jewelry, expensive.
And can I just say, for the Beezers who might be in the audience that might come over here and lurk a bit and check out my content and report back to Chantal, because I do realize there are people on my channel that maybe they enjoy my content. Maybe they are here just acting as scouts for Chantal, keeping an eye on things. Listen, if you're someone, you are a Beezer. If Chantal wants to travel, if she wants to do new content, the solution is very simple. She could go back home to Canada, where she needs to go anyway, because she needs to go there for health care. She needs to get taken care of in Canada. She can't get the health care she needs in Kuwait. All the serious stuff, Kuwait will not do. So she needs to go home for that. But if she wants to travel and she wants to show you guys interesting things, she can go home and do it. Canada is vast. There's so much to see. She could spend years making content of just nothing but stuff in Canada before she moves on somewhere else. She doesn't have to go to countries far away from home. She could just go home and just do all kinds of stuff there. She doesn't have to go to Thailand. She doesn't have to come to Kuwait. She could just go home and do it.
Cosmetics and stuff like that are, we have to make sacrifices, you know? And even me, I want to start doing budget meals because my biggest thing for me is food. That's my...
Bang. Didn't I say that earlier? The biggest thing for her is food. Something you guys should know. When she was in Canada, during the Crackhead Olympic days, she said herself on camera, what she normally spent on food for 1 month for herself was $4,000. And I'm sure that her budget is much bigger now. That's not counting trips to Starbucks daily. Sometimes she would get 1 drink. Sometimes she would get 2. Going to the dispensary and spending thousands of dollars at the dispensary. That's not counting her junk food. I mean, the amount of money she was spending on takeout, junk food, dispensary visits, daily trips to Starbucks, sometimes twice a day, was astonishing. Absolutely astonishing.
Luxury, you know, like that's my favorite thing. Fancy cafes and coffees and...
So Bridge May Be Dusty says the same people calling you poor are the ones who are leasing everything: cars, houses, printers, etc. What's wrong with leasing something, Bridge? Lots of people lease things. Sometimes they lease them and then they lease to own with the option to buy. What's wrong with that? And I don't think Chantal is poor per se. I think she makes money, but I think her main problem is she's overextended. Like, she makes money, but as soon as she makes it, it gets spent on something. She doesn't save anything. Like, she's got money going in all kinds of different directions. Maybe the money goes to people that she owes money to. Maybe it goes to food. If the money's in her hand, it doesn't stay there for long. And it has to do with her out of control spending habits. She's not smart with the money she does receive.
Clean the mirror. The same people calling you for Barbara, that's a good idea. Are the ones who lease everything, houses, cars, printers, etc. Yeah, that's true. And look, I've learned, you guys know about like my history with bankruptcy and stuff like that. Like
2 bankruptcies. She had one and she got another one. And no shade on anyone who's had a bankruptcy. I think she had one bankruptcy when she was with Pete's. And then while she was with Pete, she was not paying her taxes. And that led to bankruptcy number 2. So, like, the money she was making, she could have paid off all her taxes. I mean, yeah, she was making ridiculous amounts of money. I don't know where she is with paying her taxes these days. It's not my business. I don't care. But, like, what I'm saying is the money she was making back then, she could have just set herself up nicely. But Chantal's problem is that she doesn't want to give people the money that she owes them. She wants to keep it all in pocket and spend it foolishly, which leads to problems later. The second bankruptcy, she thought she could just get it excused away, and that didn't happen. And that's when she decided to run to Kuwait to hide from the tax man.
use me as a cautionary tale. Don't live beyond your means. Really, before you want to buy something, think like, do I need this?
I don't think you were living beyond your means. It's just that you weren't being wise with the means that you were given. You weren't. You and Amberlyn Reed, you're both stupid. You both were making good money, and you both counted on that YouTube train being extremely profitable forever. And you never looked ahead and asked yourself, is this train going to be profitable forever? You didn't count on change. You didn't count on how times could change, how the economy could change, how people's spending could change, how the attitude of the public watching you would change. You just thought you could just spend willy-nilly and make $20,000, $30,000 a month. You just spent it like it was going out of style. And now you're both in the same position where you're not making as much as you used to.
Vegetable soup is so good. I love it. Where would I buy a home? When I think of having my own house, I don't think of suburban, modern. I think secluded in the forest, an old, creepier, older home. I know it would be a lot of money to heat and everything, or people are really getting creative with homes these days since they can't afford conventional homes. Maybe buying a bit of land and buying like a mini home or buying a cabin or something like that.
Chantal, there you go, dreaming out loud. Buying a home out in the middle of the forest, fixing it up, living off the grid, doing the van life. These are things that are not for you. You are not self-sufficient. You don't have the health for it. You don't have the knowledge for it. If something broke down, you wouldn't know how to fix it. Girl, not for you. You're too much of a marshmallow. You need to be taken care of. You don't know how to take care of yourself.
Did I give up on TikTok? Yeah, because they can't verify my identity and they can't, like, even with the hijab, like, I lost so much in my life, struggled all my life, so no one should judge others for that.
Purple Christmas Light says, Chantal, you will not fit in a tiny home. No offense. True. I've seen the tiny homes. Not for her. Definitely not.
Yeah. True, teardrop. You know, it's true. But we have to look at what blessings we have, you know? And you can't compare yourself to other people's journey. There's just, you can't do it. Why? How can you, you know? I would fit in a tiny home.
No, you wouldn't.
They're not tiny, like literally.
Yeah, they are. I'm telling you, listen, I would pay good money to see Chantal. I want to see Chantal live that RV life where she has to deal with the different tanks attached to an RV, especially the black water tank. And for those who don't know what that is, that's the black water tank has to do with sewage. Because unless your RV or whatever is hooked up directly to a sewage line, you have to dump that periodically, and you've got to do it in the correct way. You can't just dump it on the ground somewhere. That's biohazard. You have to dispose of it properly. If you don't empty out the tank the way you're supposed to, you're going to have sewage all over your floor, and that's just disgusting. But I would pay good money to see her deal with a black water tank.
Really tiny for home standards, yeah, but it's like an apartment. I don't mean those little like ones for homeless people. And Teardrop, I wanted to say you're very blessed with a huge family full of children. That's and grandchildren. You know. No, we don't do baptism, Melissa. Oh, Ria, I hope things get better for all you guys struggling. You know. And even if I do become wealthy,
You're not going to be. I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy over here. You're not going to become wealthy. As long as your food addiction, as long as all of your addictions are telling you what to do and they demand to be fed and paid attention to, you will never be wealthy. You don't have the wealthy mentality. You have the rich mentality. A wealthy mentality means you have an abundance of something and you share with the world. And wealth is not determined by just money. You could have a wealth of food or knowledge or experience or love or skill or whatever the universe gives you that you have an abundance of. Like that is your wealth. You don't share what you get. You don't have that sharing kind of soul, Chantal. You have the rich mentality of I'm going to get stuff in abundance. I'm going to wrap my arms around it and I'm going to keep it all for myself. And I'm not going to share with the rest of the world. And you know what happens when you do that? The river of abundance that was coming at you, you're cutting it off by putting your arms in front of it, trying to hold stuff next to you. People that in the world that are wealthy, they understand that just as you receive, you have to give back. You have to let things go out into the universe as they should. You will never, ever, ever be wealthy. By some stretch of the imagination, you might become rich, but not wealthy. Not wealthy. No. And even then, I don't think you're never going to be money rich. Your food problem is so out of control that you have to beg people for food because you can't keep up with how demanding your food addiction is.
And I've promised this to God. I've said, if you ever do make me wealthy, I promise to share it. Like, I'm not going to go on like Instagram and flash, you know, like I'm not gonna go buy a Maybach and stuff like that. I'll get a brand new Kia.
You know, Chantal, instead of making a deal with the universe about if you make me rich, I'll do this and I'll do this in return. You're setting a stipulation with wealth and being rich. You're saying you got to give to me first. You have to send me that wealth first before I do anything. Why don't you start now? Why not start right now? You could start now. I mean, if you got that kind of thinking, you could start giving back now. You have a YouTube channel. You're making money with it. You don't have to go to a regular job and put in 8 to 9 hours. You get freedom to do what you want. The people that are in your audience, they give you that freedom. You should look at that as a blessing. I can just get on YouTube and sit down and make a video and do a live, and people show up and they watch my video or they watch my live, and I make money just from that. Just from my YouTube channel alone, I make enough money where I can pay my rent and pay my bills and feed my cat. That is a blessing. So since I have received this blessing for 8 years, maybe I should give back as a thank you. Maybe I should say thank you to those people and to the universe for this freedom that I have that other people don't have. Maybe I can give back by doing members only content, or I could just do simple giveaways. Maybe I can give away gift cards to people. You know, buy a few gift cards on Amazon or something else and do a giveaway for people that are members. Maybe I can give back in all kinds of ways using my content. You're not looking for different creative ways to give back. You're always looking for ways to take from others, but you're not interested in balancing the scale and giving back. And you wonder why your abundance is not so abundant anymore. It's because the scales are imbalanced. That's why your abundance has got cut off. That's why the river is not a river anymore. It's just a little teeny tiny puddle. You're like, where did all the water go? You didn't put any back. Hence, you got what you got. Hence the reason why you're begging for money now, because you don't give back. You got to do right, Chantal. You've got to do right.
A vasectomy? That's for a man. You mean hysterectomy? Honestly, I didn't have a choice. I felt pressured too. Like they kept pressuring me to do it, and I don't.
Okay, I don't know the complete story. So for those that know the complete story, please forgive me if I get a couple of details wrong. As I understand it, Chantal had cysts on her ovaries, which she could have had removed, and maybe she wouldn't have had to have a hysterectomy. But Chantal, in her head, she thought, I can cure this problem. She didn't want to go to surgery, I guess. And so she was doing all these crazy diets and water diets and shit. And then things got so bad that she did have to have a hysterectomy because she did not do what she could have done to fix the problem when she had the time to do it.
Regret it because they said that it could potentially turn into uterine cancer, maybe, possibly. So, no. Yeah. I don't know what it's called for women. It's called a hysterectomy, hon. Biology exam. I was really good in science, not math. Some people get hysterectomy. Can you even get one by choice? You have to have a medical reason. So no, I don't regret it. I didn't have a choice really. Vasectomy, you have a choice. You can get that done. Yeah. But no, I don't question things, like stuff like that I don't really have control over. But in the past, we don't have control of the past. All we can control now is the present, and yeah. Oh, Amila. Um, I think for me, I would just like the ability to, like, I kind of craved a bit the ability to have them, but I don't really want kids. No, I'm just like, I just have to really be honest and just like not be afraid to say that I don't want children. So,
Chantal doesn't like kids. She's gone on record as saying she does not like kids. She has no patience for children. There's a lot of people that aren't patient when it comes to children. I think the only reason why she would want to have kids, if she had the ability to have children, she would want kids for the wrong reasons. To get attention for herself, to baby trap a man with her. She even went on record as saying, I wish that I could have kids so like it would keep a guy with her. She'd be a horrible mom. She'd be selfish. She'd be jealous of her own kids. She would be neglectful. She would be that mother that would have the kids, but then drop the kids off with grandma and leave them there for weeks because she doesn't want to be bothered with the crying or the toothaches or the measles or chicken pox. I mean, she's a big kid herself. So it's a good thing she didn't have kids. And honestly, she shouldn't have pets either. If you can't take care of a pet, you certainly can't take care of a human child.
um, will that ever change in the future? I don't know. I'm getting up there in age. So, I don't know. I just don't feel mentally well enough to take care of children. Like, if I did have them though, I probably like, I don't know how, I can't say how it would be fun parents. But I definitely don't want that stress. I mean, like, I don't know why I'm afraid to say it. I feel like it's something that, like, I don't know. Child free. Yeah, exactly.
Can I go on record as saying there's a lot of people that are happy not having children. And then there are people that are happy having children. And there's nothing wrong with either one. There's nothing wrong with being either with kids or without kids. Lots of people don't have kids, happy. Then there are parents that do, very happy. Chantal needs to get her shit together. Her problem is she's been indulged too long. Her family treated her like a child way past the time of her childhood. She grew up into a spoiled, rotten adult, and she just expects people to come forward and take care of her. She doesn't want to take care of herself. You know?
Aren't you going to ask us?
And wait a minute, I almost forgot this. Chantal, you want a man to love you, right? You want a relationship. You got to take your time and actually get to know the people that you're interested in. You got to give them time to actually get to know you. I think you're afraid for the men around you to get to know you because you know how awful you are. But you tend to gravitate towards men that want a family, that want children. And they tell you that at some point, I want a family. I want children. And you know that you are in a position where you can't have kids, but you don't talk to somebody and take into consideration what they want. And then based on what you hear, kind of like deduce in your mind, maybe this person and would not work out. Maybe I'm not meant for this person. Maybe they're not meant for me. Maybe I should just leave them alone. You don't take the other person's wants and needs into consideration. You just think about yourself. You do. You think about yourself. And then you wonder why things fall apart. Because you just want everything surface level. You don't go beneath the surface and set things up to where there's long-term happiness. You just want the short-term happiness. And that's exactly what it is. It's short-term. You get drunk on the new car smell of a new guy. You get drunk on the infatuation and the crush versus real love. And love is where it's at as far as long-term happiness. Crushes, infatuations do not last long.
That's what you should do with your life. It goes against societal norms, yeah, especially in this culture, but not really in the West. I'd be a cool aunt. Yeah, well, my sister doesn't want kids either, so I don't know about that.
I heard something a while ago that around about the same time that Chantal was like boy crazy and like desperately searching for a man. I can't confirm, but I heard at that time her sister Natalie was getting married. So Chantal's a competitive person. If somebody has something, she's got to have it too, there, or otherwise she feels left out. So I am wondering if that's what kicked off the whole I got to have a man too, because her sister Natalie had a man, was about to get married. So therefore, Chantal was determined that she was going to get married too. And if that meant hooking up with Natter and kind of poking at him and pressuring him into a relationship and buying a fake engagement ring, like that was her way of competing with her sister.
Yeah, who knows?
Like, isn't it funny that if Natalie is married, isn't it funny that here's Chantal, she's in the Middle East, she's pretending to be married to Salah, wearing a ring. It's like, I got a man too. Aren't I special? No, because your marriage is fake.
Yeah, she's 30, so. But whatever will be, will be. You know, who knows in the future what will happen? Nobody except God, so. You can plan all your life for something to happen, and if that's not what God wants for you, I believe that's just not going to happen. You know, that's my belief, but cat grandchildren.
And by the way, I'm really sorry that her audio is cracking. That's not on my end. That's her awful, cheap microphone.
Yeah, true baked. I didn't want children either, but I got a son. Aw, that is a blessing, Amila, yes. Mashallah. Oh yeah, I had big shoes on. Yeah, boots, and I always used to like to dress up in her things. And she said whenever she would be getting ready to go to a party or whatever, and she would be doing her makeup. I remember as a kid, like I always say, I remember.
There we go again. We're so lacking in content. We're talking about the childhood stories. Notice there are no happy stories about her adulthood. It's always from her childhood. And usually they always revolve around food.
Remember chips, my first bag.
Oh, there we go. The childhood stories, and of course, food has to be a part of it.
How they made me feel. It was like the best thing at the time. Like the whole world stopped. I remember.
Is this a real story, Chantal, or are you telling this story because there are feedies in your audience and they like hearing that your obsession with food started in childhood? I mean, are you making stories to appeal to them? Like, oh, she's a serious food addict. She's really into food. She's so into food. She was into food as a child. Like this. Are you saying this stuff for them?
Remember, they were Hostess dill pickle chips with one of those little.
Oh, shut up about the food.
Try to stop giving. my grandkids' sweets when I watch them. I said, I do try. But they ask for a cookie, it's hard. I know, they're cute faces. That's the thing, you know? Food makes us happy and we want to make them happy. So I get it. It's hard, yeah. It's really hard. It's hard. It's like, you know, making us and other people happy with food. It's like ingrained in us. Yeah. Doesn't have a cat. He used to have 2 cats. Hershey bar and pepper. No wonder you have a sweet tooth. That's true. My mom, when she was pregnant with me, she always liked pickles and olives.
We're
Okay.
talking.
Yeah, what did you ask? We don't look alike now. She looks like her dad. I look like my dad. Is it a short dress? I hate haters who are like, you wore a short dress to your grandma's.
Oh, she's about to get into the story. She's about to talk about it. Like, we just saw the picture. Hang on. Wait a minute. Where's the picture? Just so, look, we need a refresher. We need a reminder. Where's that doggone picture? Hold on. Just so we're aware of what we're talking about. Where's that doggone picture? Doggone it. I'm going back through my timeline so I can just give you, I want to give you the visual of what we're talking about here. Stop screen, share screen. All right. This dress right here, this one. This is what she wore to her grandmother's memorial when her grandma died. That's what she decided to wear. A very short, way too tight spandex type of dress, zebra print, and you guys can see how short that sucker is. It's so short, you could see her underwear. She didn't even have the decency to wear, like, say, some leggings or some pants beneath it. And she could have done that. She could have used the dress like a blouse and then just worn some leggings or something, and that would have been much more decent. No, this is what she chose to wear to her grandmother's memorial, and that is so disrespectful. Turning up looking like that. I mean, would it be too hard to find, say, a black shirt and black pants and some black flats or a long black dress? That would have been appropriate, but this is what she wore to her grandmother's memorial. All right, now that you have the visual, now we're going to go back to Chantal. Tell us about it now, Foodie.
Like, what? No, my grandma didn't have a funeral. Or to go visit my grandma in the hospital. Who cares what I wore?
Who cares what you wore? You showed up there dressed like that, looking like an entire spectacle.
Like, it covered all of my bits. Like, at least I was there with her, and we had to wear a PPE anyway. So, people are stupid. I was there with her when she took her last breaths.
She like, I was there when she took her last breath. Your grandmother was in hospice for the longest. And you only went to go see her once. You were so busy with your head up Natter's behind, you didn't want to leave him alone for a second because you were so deathly afraid that the moment you turned your back, that he would go to somebody's house or have somebody over and be boinking somebody and you wouldn't be around. So to keep control of him, you had to be by his side 24/7. You didn't go see your grandmother. You only went to go see her one time, and you went there specifically just so you could show up, get a picture with grandmother while she was ill in her bed, and rather than keep the picture for yourself, which you should have done, you posted it on social media. Disrespectful. You went there to exploit your own sick grandmother. And then after she did pass away, the night of her funeral, what the heck were you doing? You were high off your rocker, talking about OnlyHands, doing OnlyHands content. When your grandmother passed, you didn't go spend time with your mom and comfort her because your mom had just lost her mom. You didn't say, hey, mom, is there something I can do for you? Do you need me to clean? Do you need me to just to sit here with you? Would that make you feel better? Nope. Nope, couldn't be bothered. Natter and partying with Natter was more important. You don't care about your family. Not at all. You never have. But you expect them to care for you and to take care of your needs and your wants. And every time you come back home from Kuwait to Canada, you expect them to put you up and give you a couch to sleep on. You come home like a wild, out of control teenager and bring all your problems home to your family. And it's beyond your comprehension about why they're so irritated with you. It's because you don't come home correct. You don't come home as a grown woman solving your problems, and you're just showing up for a visit to spend time with them for the right reasons. No, you come home and expect your family to take care of you, even though you're a 41-year-old woman. And you should be doing womanly things. But you come home acting like a child. And you wonder why your family can't stand you.
So, yeah, people can stuff it, trying to shame me for that crap. It's the solution that counts. Yeah, true. That's right. Gotta finish the living room here.
You know what? I'm just going to say this too, since Wolf Pup is saying this. Wolf Pup says, it sounds like your grandma loved you very much. Back when Chantal first started doing content on her channel, like she did stuff with grandma, put grandma in some of her vlogs. And I heard that Chantal was getting money from grandma. She was getting grandma's money. But then one of her family members stepped in and put a stop to that. And then once like the relative put a stop to it, Chantal stopped hanging out with grandma. And I also do distinctly remember there was an occasion, there is a stream out there, like a very, very old stream that Chantal did. She was it the uncle's house? She was streaming. She was there. Grandma was in the other room in her bed. Chantal was doing a live stream in the house. Grandma was in the other room, and grandma was groaning in pain. And Chantal didn't say, hey, I got to go. My grandma's sick. I want to see what's wrong with her. She just left grandma alone in the room. She didn't want to be bothered. So no, she didn't love her grandma.
Oh, you were adopted. Yeah, I think I remember you saying that. Crazy, eh? But they feel like you're obviously like your parents, right, Teardrop? Did you ever meet your biological parents? Like, they don't love me, or like make up lies about me and my sister, like saying I put her in a dryer. That never happened. They were literally believing lies from...
You bullied your sister. You were jealous of your little sister because before your little sister came along, you were the baby of the family. And then your little sister came into the picture. Then she was the baby because she was literally a baby. You were jealous of that. You bullied your sister. You bullied her very, very badly. Even though that was your sister, you felt like you were in competition with her. Your family had such a problem with you, you ended up going to a group home. Like, how bad do you have to be for your own family to send you to a group home, Chantal? Like, that's pretty rotten. That's pretty freaking rotten. What did you do for them to do that to you? You want all the attention. You can't stand it when other people get attention besides you.
Nice, Vanessa. Yeah, Mom's Day. Yeah, I'll send my mom something. But I had this old friend, like I told you about her. She used to do witchcraft on our other friends and try to get them to be unalived that way. She's insane. Like, there's no other. Anyway, she's the one who said I laughed at the 9/11 jumpers. I think she's projecting because she idolized Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris, the Columbine people. Yeah, she had a crush on them. Okay, so don't talk to me about morality, lady. Yeah, man a cunt. Exactly. Right. Yeah, she's insane. And she when she latches on, and she's had so many, there's a few people, I'm sure they could tell you, she's tried, when she hates you, she gets a vendetta against you. There's no length she will not go to try to ruin you.
Sounds like you're talking about yourself right there. Everything you just described, you're describing yourself, Chantal. I mean, for years you bragged about, I'm an Aries. Aries people are known for being wrathful, blah, blah, blah. Although I'm sure there are Aries people out there that they would look at you and say, you can't sit with us. You absolutely cannot sit with us. We won't allow it. You just described yourself. You're wrathful. Wrathful? What is wrathful? You are wrathful, vengeful, jealous, envious, prideful, controlling, insecure. Like, you're everything. You're all the 7 deadly sins and a few extra.
She's one of those people. Like, man, the things she used to do, she turned against a couple of her other friends, and the things she did, but then she met the person in face, like, what, after they were fighting, and she got her ass kicked bad by the person.
She is describing herself because Chantal told this story about when she was in school that she got beat up by somebody's girlfriend. This is her story, and she's switching it to somebody else.
I was like, yeah, sorry, but she deserved it. Like, she put this person through hell. If you only,
she's talking about herself and using somebody else's name.
Only knew this person, and your first indication that she's not a good person is that she's a farms member. Okay, sorry, but I don't think that good people go on a forum dedicated to hating on somebody in really disgusting detail. You know, I don't believe that those people have a very nice, fulfilling life, but that's just.
What about all the things you've done to your family? Would you say those things are nice? I wouldn't say they were nice. You put your family through hell. And what about people on YouTube going after them? Chantal, you got people behind the scenes doing all kinds of dirty work for you. Looking up people's information, where they live, where they work, who their family members are. Hey, let's talk about the recent thing you did. Making up sock accounts, using pictures of Perfectly Imperfect's daughter, under 18 daughter, and her son. And another one where you were claiming to be her husband, trying to act like the people around Perfectly Imperfect were coming forward and speaking out against their mother and their wife. You're over here talking about other people being vengeful and wrathful. In the meantime, you're doing stuff like that. And we all remember how you had a little Missy Moo over there looking up stuff on people, doing the doxing. We're not going to forget about that either. So you really can't speak on what other people have done at the same time that you're a dirty pool player. If there's any dirty work to be done, you pay people to do damage, to look up stuff, get stuff done. You think by paying other people and your hands stay clean, it gives you protection. I wasn't involved. I didn't do it. I'm not responsible. You do that because you want to protect your channel. You're not going to do things directly because you are concerned for your income on your channel. And you know that if you do things directly, it might affect your channel. You want to kick the hornet's nest, but you want to use somebody else's shoe to do it. You're concerned about your financials that way. But don't think, those of us in girl world, that we are not aware and that we don't know what you do behind the scenes, because we do. It's not just going after channels as far as their personal information that you do. You're doing all kinds of ritual shit too. Seeking out people to help you on that realm. Trying to look for results when you shouldn't. It's money and energy wasted because you're not going to get the results you want. And like I said in the Tarot React video, it's not because you haven't found the right people to do that kind of dirty work. It's not because you haven't found the right practitioner. It's not because you haven't found somebody powerful enough, skilled enough. It's because it's intention. You got bad intention. You're not doing things for the right reasons. You're doing things for the wrong reasons, which means you're going to fail. Like, you're the one messing around with the earthly plane, with the spiritual plane. You're acting selfishly. You're doing evil things. You hurt yourself. By trying to hurt other people in various ways, ultimately you hurt yourself.
Me? Like, yeah, it was crazy. Yes, exactly. Yep. That kind of evil. An evil eye protection. I have God. And people have tried to do voodoo on me. People have tried to do
What's this? People have tried to do voodoo on me. And what have you tried to do to other people, ma'am? Using certain things to go after channels you don't like. Even the tarot readers. You're doing all kinds of stuff in the background. You better leave that stuff alone.
do all kinds of things on me. Unprotected bitch.
I'm protected, she said. You know what? Thinking about it, she's not all the way wrong about that. Everybody has spirits of protection around them. You're right. You are correct. You got a little bit of protection, Chantal. A little bit. But if you do bad things to people and they're not attacking you, they're just going about their business, you have less protection. Do you understand? I mean, if you put things in motion, you got to deal with the consequences of your actions. And it doesn't matter if there are people doing things on your behalf. You started the fire. You're the one that handed somebody the matches and the gasoline. Therefore, you're involved. There's no escaping that. You are involved in whatever it is that's happening. So, trying to puff up your chest and go, I'm protected. Are you? Really? Well, I would say by looking at your life and your energy, whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is, ma'am, uh, you're draining your own battery. It's empty. It is. I'd be stopping right now.
So anyway, like Larry, she was vile. She has some nerve going on there. So anyways, she's also the friend who's
I'm curious. Like, why is she talking about this person now? Like this whole, uh, the mana. I don't want to say the complete word. You guys can see it. Mana, CUNT. This happened a while ago. Like, why is this person being brought up now? I don't understand. Like, why she's talking about it now, years later.
BO ridden boyfriend who she had her kids with came to my house with her one day on my birthday.
Like, is this in the realm of I have nothing new and recent to talk about, so I'm going to reach into the closet of my past and bring up stuff that happened before as topics of conversation because I have to have a 2-hour live stream and I've got to have stuff to talk about and I'm not doing anything. So let's just bring up past stuff and just bring it up again. Is that what she's doing?
I said, "You're my friend. You should come to my birthday party." She had pretty much ditched me all the time for this loser. And he lied and she was in on it. They made me cash a fake check and go into the negative on my I was a teenager, on my bank account. Karina, yeah, she was. Yeah. Yeah. I have some really good friends. I should reconnect with some.
I have some really good friends. I should really connect with them. Well, you don't sound like much of a good friend if you had a friendship with somebody and you haven't talked to them in years.
But I have some really good friends. I had some really good friends.
Had really good friends. Had. Not have, had.
In my time. BO ridden. Oh, it was awful. My mom was spraying after he left the house. She was like, "Don't have that guy over ever again."
Not Chantal talking about somebody else's body odor when she goes days at a time without showering and wearing dirty clothes. Ma'am, be careful talking about that. I'm sure you don't smell like a bed of roses. I mean, somebody who delights in farting all the time can't be smelling good.
Hey, Maxine. He had the worst body odor I ever smelt in my life.
Beyond your own, you mean?
It was disgusting.
I mean, Pete did tell us long ago that you smelled like old moldy cheese. So that's not a good smell.
Anyway, I'm not saying everyone can be smelly once in a while. This was bad.
You're smelly all the time. And I'm not being mean saying that. It's just that anybody, no matter what body size, if you go days without bathing, you're going to smell. Especially if you're working hard, you're sweating. Chantal, you're of a bigger size. You should be bathing much more frequently for your own health. You don't bathe. You sit in your stench. I think you're nose blind to your own stench. And the stink that you think is coming off of Julia is actually your stink.
My mom is a clean freak like that. But I'm thankful that she was always clean because
I mean, that might be another reason why the family doesn't look forward to you being with them when you show up in Canada. Like, you show up and you're like, I need a place to stay. Can I sleep on the couch? That might be another reason why they don't want you there, because you don't like bathing. You don't like cleaning yourself. You're sitting there in your stench and stinking up the place, and That's just nasty.
Honestly, I've seen on TikTok, I don't know if it's like a trend, but people are normalizing parents having disgusting, I mean, like, okay, clutter, you have kids, it gets messy. But for me, if you have children, like, I don't care. My house gets messy. I'm not hurting anyone but adults here. You seen Julia, her area is clean. Your dog paws. But to have your kids walking around in filth, that's not acceptable. I'm sorry. Like, that's.
Are you going to tell your viewers about the time that you were in Canada and you were living at the Canadian villa and you weren't a teenager, you were very much an adult? Your room got extremely filthy. Your house was extremely filthy. And as a 30-something-year-old woman, rather than clean your own house, clean your own room, or since you had the money to hire maids, you didn't hire maids. You actually called upon your mom to come clean your room. You going to tell people about that? How, as a 30-something-year-old woman, you called your mom to clean your room for you, and you're an adult?
That just breaks my heart seeing that. Like, no.
And the amount of mess that they had to deal with was embarrassing. I kid you not, garbage on her floor, like trash on her floor, so thick, so high, she was using a garden rake to rake it up. And it was everywhere. Like, not just a little bit of mess in her room, but an all-day job. For her one tiny bedroom, I remember she had like at least a dozen lawn, like the black lawn garbage bags, full garbage bags of trash for just one room. Her bedroom. That was just her room. That's how bad it got.
And they're proud of it too. Like, come clean my house with me for CPS visit. What?
Again, you can't criticize, because when animal control showed up, because they were called several times due to the way you were living and you're making your pets live in that filth, when animal control did manage to get through the door, they looked around and said, you need to clean this place up. They gave you a warning to clean the place up. And that's when you and Pete got busy cleaning up the house. That was one of the few times it did get clean, because animal control showed up and said, you need to clean this place up.
No, BO smells like onions. Onion funyuns.
And then after that visit, Pete just didn't answer the door. They left stickers and stuff on the door. But Pete wouldn't answer the door to animal control when they did show up. That was his way of avoiding them.
Bed rotting is fine. You know, I lay in bed all the time, but no. I won't let my house get filthy anymore.
Listen, the only reason why that house is semi-clean, in my opinion, is because of Salah. And it has to do with the fact that at some point, you're going to be leaving. You can't stay there forever. The place cannot get completely trashed like the Canadian villa did, with like $5,000 in damages like Pete's had to deal with. So like the mess can't reach a certain level. Every once in a while, you got to clean it up. Somebody else's name might be on the lease. They don't want the place to get damaged. They don't want to deal with it. So because of that, you have to keep it clean. That's the only reason why it is clean.
Hoarders, it's the filth. It's not just clutter. It's the filth. Like I don't know, they just throw the garbage on the ground all the time or what?
Like you did?
Yes, there's one on TikTok, Amanda McGee or something. Go look at her house. Like, your kids should not have to walk around in that. Just like animal feces all over. No.
Be careful, Chantal. You're walking on You're walking on landmines. Remember the cat litter boxes back at the Canadian villa that didn't get changed for 3 months. Remember that. And I'm going to be fair. Y'all. The litter box situation for BBJ and Sam. BBJ and Sam were Chantal's cats, not Pete's. Pete's had his own cat, Timbit, who also lived in filthy conditions in his room. BBJ and Sam, though, those were her pets, her responsibility. She should have been changing those litter boxes, or if she couldn't, hire someone to do it. Hire someone to do the pet care, to take the pets to the vet or to the groomers or to get their nails clipped or whatever else they need. She could have paid someone to do all the stuff that she didn't want to do. But the litter boxes didn't get changed for 3 months. Pete was like, it's too heavy. I can't deal with it. Funny that I'm a much smaller person than Pete's, and I've had the extra large litter boxes before. I managed it, but this grown man who's bigger and stronger than I am can't think his way around a problem of disposing of dirty litter. Figure it out. If there's too much in the litter box and it's too heavy, put some of it into a trash bag and take it down to the dumpster and get it to a weight that you can carry the whole thing and dump it. I guess that's just too hard to figure out. His idea of changing the litter was putting clean litter on top of dirty litter until the whole thing was overflowing. That's how Pete's handled it. Yeah, he's a genius, that one.
CPS cleaning on TikTok, yes. I understand depression and everything, but like when you have kids, you have to, I don't know, it's just, Yeah, had to be clean enough to, yeah. Even depression, I understand that it's honestly, if you think cleaning is hard as a normal person, if you literally have debilitating depression, it's a lot worse. It's way worse.
About that, depression is a very serious thing. It's no laughing matter. Depression sucks. Has Chantal suffered with depression? Perhaps here and there. But at the time that she lived at Canadian Villa, the times that she swore that she was going through depression, some of those times were questionable. And I say that because she would say, I'm depressed, I'm depressed, I'm depressed. And yet, claiming that she had depression, as soon as Natter made one phone call to her and said, I want to see you, boom, she'd be up and out of the bed, putting on her makeup, putting on her wig, packing an overnight bag, putting on the perfume, putting on the lotion. Like, she could snap out of it pretty quickly. So I don't know if she suffered as much depression as what she's claimed, because like she could just snap out of it real quick. And all it took was one phone call from Natter.
But I've learned even myself, we're responsible for our life. We can't, so you either get help somehow or you have to force yourself to do it. Like, unless you're like medically debilitated, like I have to force myself to do things. You have to. Depression is one thing, being proud of it is another. Yeah, exactly. You have to try to snap out of it, because you know what? A dirty house only adds to your depression.
Oh, you're not wrong. Even if you're depressed or you feel bad or you're upset, the environment in which you live in or you're dwelling, it can contribute to how you feel, and it might reinforce it. Like if you're feeling bad, you're feeling upset, you're feeling sad, it just makes you feel better when everything around you is clean. You don't feel as bad. You don't feel as bad. So yeah, a clean environment helps you to feel a little bit better.
Which is like, if you think about it that way, you know what I mean? I saw a comment, someone, because she said that she has cleaning paralysis, and he's like, is that what we're calling lazy these days? No filters today. Yeah, I watched a cop video earlier. They visited a house with autistic kids and they were living with poop stain. I saw that teardrop. Oh, I don't have kids, I'm not a parent, but I still have the right to be disgusted by that. I'm sorry. That's vile. Scapegoat. That is sad. No child should live in that crap. Literal. No. No. They deserve a clean home. 100%. Like, no.
You know, I'll take it one step further. Yes, children do need to live in a clean home, a nice environment, but so do pets. So do pets, Chantal. And you've always failed in that regard. You living in a clean environment, but kind of forcing whatever pets you take into your care to also live in a filthy environment.
Sorry, that's the number one thing, a clean house, for especially with kids. Like I said, if my house gets messy, I'm an adult. Like, but with kids, no. My mom too, Larry. She was always cleaning. Yeah, cleaned my room too, which I don't think that helped. I should have been doing that myself. Just sit on their lazy asses. Yeah, that pisses me off. No. Key lime.
Okay, you know what, guys? She's rambling, but this react is already like super long. There might be some stuff that she says that I might be missing, but I don't want to make this react like 4 hours and we're almost there. So I'm going to cut it off here. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the react. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.